Some of the content of Patriots Unfiltered may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
The world's original podcast.
Welcome to Patriots Unfiltered.
I got a box delivered to my office today. I said, what the hell is this? It was soap. It'd be really nice to hear how you like them and how Alex liked them in particular.
Okay.
I guess Alex is a big user of soap.
So right as I make the realization that this might be an ashes ceremony, my good friend Don, who's having the time of his life, cranks the opening to Life in the Fast Lane. I edged a mulch bed yesterday. It was very satisfying.
It's an old house. Long story. They nailed through a part of the house that didn't have an insulation, so the nails came right through into this closet area. So I, they didn't know. I didn't blame them. So I said, I'll fix it.
Just give me a ladder.
Release me from these mortal coils.
Yes. Father Fred. Was that a Father Fred line?
No, that's Shakespeare.
Oh.
That's Hamlet.
Oh, you could have stolen that. You might have heard of him.
Some people don't like to have your soap through another membrane.
This is Patriots Unfiltered.
Presented by Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com.
All right, welcome to Patriots Unfiltered. It is Thursday here at Gillette Stadium. It's been hot out there. I don't think they didn't forecast this one. It just got hot and muggy.
It's the humidity.
Yeah, it is. It's the humidity,
And-
but it's also hot.
And it's humid and hot until like 10 p.m. Because
Yeah.
even at the concerts the last two nights, it was sweltering.
Yeah.
Me too.
Oh, I'll take the heat over the
too.
cold any day.
Even the humidity.
I'm not
it's better
complaining.
than-
I'm just saying it's hot. It's
It is
Paul.
hot.
It's Alex. It's me. It's Matt in the booth. Evan is still getting married. Deuce is probably
Matty?
down at the Cape, right? I don't
I
know
think
where
he
Yeah,
Deuce
is.
is.
his last 2 days he was looking forward to. He told me on Tuesday that he was not going to be here Thursday, Friday. Those were his last 2
Yep,
days.
this
Then
is
it's time
it.
to go.
This is it. Smoke them while you got them.
Yep.
So it's the three of us holding down the fort. We'll be talking all things Patriots and everything else on this Thursday here at Gillette Stadium. So you went to Coldplay?
I did. I went Tuesday night.
You went Tuesday night.
Yeah. It was
Were you on the Kiss Cam at all?
I was
No?
not.
No? You hear about
Although
what's
I
fly
wouldn't
under
have
the
gotten
radar?
myself into that much trouble if I was.
Did you hear about what's going on there?
Who hasn't?
Like, woof. Two people got
These are
outed.
the things the kids keep me up to
Yeah.
date on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coldplay did some crowd work the night I was there too. Our crowd work was a little less eventful, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's probably not a great look to be making out with your head of HR if you're married with kids at a concert.
And you're the CEO, and she's.
What are the odds of that? What's our stadium capacity for a concert?
It's got to be 60,000
Well,
plus
it depends
anyway,
on the
right?
configuration, but I think
60
they
to
probably
70,000?
Well,
probably
you
had
blo-
at least 50,000 last night.
Right, you block
Yeah.
out the seats
Yeah.
behind
Yeah.
the stage,
Yeah.
so of all people that they could have shined a light on, I guess that just shows to how affectionate they were being.
Or it also shows how many people are having an affair.
To have Chris Martin call out your
I
affair.
don't think it shows that.
Why not? Like, maybe it's not so random. Maybe every other person that you show is involved in some type of.
For those
of
who
an affair.
haven't seen the video, a couple was caught by Coldplay. They're doing crowd work, and they instantly duck out of the screen. And then Chris Martin, the lead singer, is like, oh, they must be having an affair, or they're really shy. And then they kind of go on with the concert. And then, TikTok did its thing.
Yeah.
They found out what company
We
he's-
don't need to
yeah,
talk about
all of
who
it.
or what, but yeah. Yep.
Bad look.
Yeah.
That part I don't really like.
Yeah. Like
Like,
you
I
don't
think
have
it was, we all saw it. Like, they showed it to me this morning, and I was like, oh, wow. I guess you could make an argument that they were embarrassed. But then it went on too long, and you're like, no, that's definitely an affair.
Yeah.
But, you really have to go and do the research
Right.
and out them.
And make it worse for them.
Like, if he was really having an affair, which clearly he was, the people that need to know.
Yeah. But they
The people
weren't.
that know him said, no, that ain't his wife.
Yeah, it's bad enough for them. They're not breaking any laws.
Yeah,
So let's relax on the junior detective work.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that was happening.
But the concert was
They
good,
should have
though.
just chilled and not drawn attention to themselves. No
Right.
one would have posted it.
Right.
They would just been like, "Oh, nice, it's a cute couple."
How was Coldplay?
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Top 3 show I've ever been to.
Really?
Top 3 show
That's
easily.
that's high praise.
They just have so many really great songs. where, I don't know, it's always been a goal of mine to go to a Coldplay show since middle school. They have like 3 of my favorite songs ever in existence. So, I don't know, they put on a great show. The production was amazing. It was like almost like Taylor Swift caliber to me, production level wise, but they just have so many great songs, and you have the really like slow jams that are like these beautiful ballads, and then you have these like Calvin Harris like house hits that the whole place was just rocking and dancing, and it was awesome. Yeah.
Good.
Post-concert depression.
I'm trying to figure out if I know 3 Coldplay songs.
You
let alone
I'm sure you
definitely
do.
You
You
think?
definitely
Yeah.
do if you heard them.
Yeah.
So definitely Viva La Vida.
Viva La Vida,
And-
Yellow,
And there's
Sky Full of Stars,
Something Just Like This. Is that a
Yep.
song?
Mhm.
That's a song,
Just
right?
Like This, yeah.
Just Like This. So there's 2. Didn't
I
know
think
those
you would
other
know
ones.
Yellow if you
I know
heard
the
it.
names of songs.
Yeah.
Like I know that Yellow is a song that I think Clocks might be a song
Clocks,
too.
yep.
I don't know the songs though.
Yep. They didn't play Talk, which was the one thing I was a little sad about. It's
Not
an
sure I
early
would know
one
that
though,
one.
but
Okay.
kind of a deep cut.
All right. Well,
Did you go, Freddie?
no.
That sounds like a show that you would have been interested in.
No. No. Too
look at-
hot. Too many people.
It was
the
really
look on his
hot.
face. Yeah, but
I-
you
I-
don't have to
really
be.
I
hot.
don't need that.
You don't have to be with the hoi polloi.
Yes,
You
I-
would have been in the suite or something.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, I don't need it.
But you're not a huge Coldplay?
There's very few bands that I'm willing to go to a big concert for these days.
But now that we're no longer added on Sunday nights, you can do that.
Yeah.
That was a classic Fred. The Police were at Fenway Park. And we used to have to do all the work on the paper.
It's a preseason game.
After
Right.
after the game was over, on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
And Fred goes, "Yeah, you guys got to do it yourself. I'm going to a concert," which no one cared about, but we just like to bust his balls over.
No, it was cool. Police on Fenway, Fenway Park. It was a great show.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
Fenway's a cool venue.
And they're good musicians. They're
Yeah.
really good musicians. So it was a good show. I think the last concert I went to, the Jay-Z Beyonce one.
Beyonce.
Yeah. Was that the last concert I've been to?
Which one, like 2 years ago?
It might be. I think it was longer than 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to continue our little pop culture segment here to open the show. See that story about Beyonce's like choreographer or someone getting a case stolen out of their car that had supposedly never released footage, songs, never released works for Beyonce?
No.
Oh, really? Supposedly stolen?
Well, yeah.
Sometimes these
it doesn't pass my sniff test.
Yeah.
That's why I brought it up.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly why, so you guys can
So have
make
they
fun of me. I
released-
don't
have
have a specific thing. It just
Did they get released?
no.
Oh.
No.
So maybe it was still. If they get released, then it was probably a setup for publicity.
Well, that's where I think it's
Yeah.
heading. Something like I don't know
Yeah.
exactly how, but it just doesn't seem like why would the choreographer have something that was so like specifically special to Beyonce
Right.
that it was
To
in
train
a
her
case
dancers on
in
the
a car-
unreleased music.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense to me.
Yeah. All right.
But maybe it's just coincidence.
Okay.
But
Anything going on Patriots
I have
wise?
my
we
radar
need to
up.
cover before we continue.
Patriots wise, we might. I mean, nothing specific right now, but I think we could. I think Mike mentioned on Tuesday we could get some news. I would think tomorrow, with
Well,
people starting to.
The big news tomorrow is that episode 2 of Forge in Foxborough gets dropped.
Highly anticipated.
I would
so-
be remiss if I didn't
So
include that at the
that-
top of the list.
That's the big news tomorrow. But as you said, our guys are arriving starting tomorrow.
I do want to apologize to everyone. I was not able to be part of this episode because I was on vacation when they needed me. So I apologize in advance. It's still well worth watching.
Yeah.
Episode 2 dropping tomorrow.
We were thinking of sending a crew to the golf course where you were, but yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea where I was, but I was like,
There's just the whole
I'm not-
segment where Paul just gets
Any
shadowed
chance,
all day.
I got a text. Any chance you could be in tomorrow? Yeah, no.
Paul teeing off. Yeah, I think Vrabel's going to have a good.
So obviously, I'm kidding.
I don't understand how people thought we were releasing that every week. Like, I like to read through the comments of our stuff sometimes, and people were like, what happened to every single week? And it was like, When did we ever say that we're?
Well,
What would
probably-
we be? What content would we be producing?
Probably another fan at the time we released episode 1 said, "Oh, they're great. This is going to be like Hard Knocks," and somebody read that, and Hard Knocks is every week, and so they took what the fan said as what was happening.
Yeah,
But,
someone ran with that. But
yeah. No, we don't have a staff like NFL Films to do this every week.
Right. And
But-
like the guys haven't been here. What would we be even covering right now?
Right. Right now, nothing. But it's gonna it's gonna heat up. It's gonna heat up next week.
Yeah.
23rd, our first show, our first live show. We're going to be out there covering the first day of public practice. So can't wait for that.
Can't believe it's here already.
I
I
know.
know.
Less than a week.
Tough. I did see ESPN came out with their list that they do where they kind of anonymously ask like GMs and like team executives like who their top 10
Yeah.
position by position.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he had Gonzo make
We
the
finally
list.
got some love. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, it's not the first one, but it's the most significant. Gonzo was, I believe, sixth.
Sixth, I think, and someone said they think he's probably like the next Patrick Surtain, so that's kind of cool.
So
Getting him some
that,
love.
you asked, Patriots news, I would say that's probably the newest bit of information out there. Yeah, that's good, good for Gonzo to be recognized, after having a solid year 2.
I kind of like it when he was under the radar. Now he's like, now you get on these lists and expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah, not that they shouldn't,
Do you
but
think he's not going to live up to his expectations?
no, I just
Kirsch Colin,
no,
not
I
sold on Gonzalez.
I like, working with the freedom of not having them. But I guess that's what comes with being one of the best at his craft.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was a second-team All-Pro.
I know.
I don't really think he's under the radar. He had played one full season, and he was a second-team All-Pro.
I know, but now he's getting on these lists and everything.
Also, like after, I think it was his first game where, no, maybe we didn't play Miami. We played Miami early in the season, his first season, and Tyreek Hill was on podcast that next week really hyping him up, saying, like, the rookie is
He's
the
good.
real
Yep,
deal.
I remember
you
that
know?
night. It was a Sunday night game, week 2.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, we knew that already. L from Wisconsin has a quick question. Who took the bigger risk, you for hiring Paul or Paul for coming to work for you?
It's
I think definitely
awesome.
Paul.
That's an awesome email.
Paul for coming to work here, definitely the bigger risk.
But I love the email because it's very topical.
Yeah. That whole thing with the owner and Belichick, both of what they say is true.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of buts with both of they say. And so Belichick took his chances at the big buts with what Kraft said. There's a lot of but. But with Belichick, there's a lot of buts too. I like how he says, I had to straighten out their financial stuff, and they were the lowest in cash spending over the last 20 years. But he also says that when he got there, they were $10 million over the cap, spending like drunken sailors. Like he had a lot to do with not spending as much as Kraft did when he was here. Like locker room hierarchy in terms of contracts was very important to Belichick.
So I liked the, I had a lot of people telling me, a lot of former coaches
Yeah.
telling me,
I guess who would
wonder
that
who.
be?
I wonder who might have told him it might not be a great job to take.
Right.
I feel like that didn't really need. This is no disrespect to Belichick, but I feel like he didn't need to clap back at that. I don't think Robert was really disrespectful at all.
Well,
I think it was actually like.
I think he didn't mean it to be disrespectful. I think he was asked the question, what was in your opinion, your biggest move?
Yeah.
And I agree. I think the biggest move he made as owner was giving up a first-round pick for a coach who had no success as a head coach
Right.
so
and,
far.
And Robert ended the thought with saying, and he ended up with us for 20-something years, so I think it turned out pretty good.
It turned out- and he's
to
giving
me, it was
himself
like-
credit for which is fine, but that's the whole point of what was your best move. So I get that. So like I kind of agree. Like it really wasn't necessary to clap back.
I don't think it
like,
was.
But there's no doubt it was a risk for both of them.
Yeah,
at
can
the
I
same
run?
time.
Can I run the risk of being the homer here? Like,
Sure.
it was a far greater risk for Kraft.
I think so.
And I think everything Belichick said was probably factually correct.
Right.
He had some risk too. You don't often get more than 2 chances, so
Yep.
he had to choose wisely that second time around.
Right.
So I don't think anything that Bill said was wrong. But it was a far bigger risk, I think, on Robert's part because of the reputation that Belichick had at the time.
Yeah, your guys were killing Kraft.
Everybody was killing him.
Right.
You know, my guy, one of my favorite guys who's ever covered the Patriots is Kevin Manning. I've said this to you a million times.
Great
he
guy.
called him duplicitous pond scum.
Called Belichick that. Yes.
That was the reaction of hiring this guy who had just sort of had this public meltdown, you know, in walking away from the Jets. His forget all of that. His track record with the Browns was not good.
No.
There were a lot of people that didn't think that was a good hire, and that was a big risk. And to not only hire him, but to do so having to give up everything they had to give up just to get the rights to him.
Yep.
It was a lot of risk that
There was
Robert Kraft
risk.
had to assume.
So, yeah, like Paul said, both of what they said is all factually correct. But like Alex said, I don't think it was necessary to.
Kind of
you
petty.
know,
and
yeah,
not
a little
unnecessary.
bit. A little bit.
Well,
Just a little bit.
so you disrespect him a little bit.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. But good email by L to bring that up contextually. Yeah.
But yes, I took the bigger risk.
Yeah. Mo in New York and
Fred got a ready-made star.
Mo in New York and Vermont about the Beyonce thing. The reason I wrote in is because of the stolen case out of Beyonce's choreographer's car. The reason Paul's spidey sense is tingling is because something like 80% of these things are inside jobs.
That's
In
what I
fact,
thought.
it happened to Eminem, ears perking up in the other room. A year ago, a longtime trusted employee stole unreleased music from a safe in the studio, ultimately came to a conclusion when the FBI caught him red-handed trying to sell it.
Yeah, there's either one of two things. One might be what you said, the first thing, which is like, you know, Beyonce's not quite, I mean, not just that she's not a big deal, but not quite what she once was. And I don't think the country thing sort of hit with everybody.
Right.
So it might be an effort to, you know, kind of like that washed up soap star, like that goes in and someone planted,
Yeah.
is that Alex Francisco? And everybody
Drum up
swarms her.
hype.
Yeah, drum
It's
up
like how
some-
celebrities
yeah.
call the paparazzis on themselves.
Correct. They drum up some hype, or it could just be the inside job, which was the first thing that I thought of, is that
Yeah.
because I don't know what,
Stealing and trying to sell it.
I don't know how you can sell it. Like, you'd have to sell it to someone who never wants to.
There's a black
Right.
market
How
for
do you,
that.
how do you monetize
You're just
it?
There's a
playing
black
it,
market
right?
for everything.
Yeah.
Right. You'd
I
have to
guess.
get someone that's not ever planning on producing it, because then they're just going to get caught.
When the engineer stole Eminem stuff, he sold it to a third party who then put it out as like a mixtape. 120 unreleased songs from Eminem.
But how do they? You can't make any money off of it.
The DJ started selling that stuff, and then the FBI got involved.
That's how they got caught.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can't start selling it and get away with it.
Correct. Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
That's
Right.
that's my point.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it was something like what the emailer just said. Like
Yeah.
it just didn't pass the sniff test. It seemed like an inside kind of thing, or you know, I think Fred has something that could be even more like just. It was intentional
Yeah.
to drum up more publicity
Yeah.
as they're get ready to release.
You know,
it.
then she gets them back, and it's like, okay, I'll release them. You know.
Right.
Let's see. Ryan and Quincy, wide receiver talk. Wants to talk about Terry McLaurin. Personally, I think our wide receiver room already looks better than last year, but adding a guy like Scary Terry would take it to another level. What's the most you'd be willing to trade to bring him in? I know this has been talked about. I think the Commanders would be absolutely crazy to get rid of him. Like you got something going here. Why would you do that at this time?
Yeah. I think that would be stupid unless he's to the point where he just does not want to play there anymore and he's going to cause a problem. And it's one of
But
those
why-
things
if-
like Miami just
if-
did
but-
with Jalen Ramsey. Like, well, he's not going to play for us, so we might as well get something.
But if he
for him.
doesn't want to play there because of money, give him the money.
No, I would too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like it has to be money, because why wouldn't they're a really young, exciting team with a really promising quarterback? I can't imagine it being anything but money.
Well, now's the time to do it.
He wants
Especially
a
with
contract.
new
yes.
ownership.
I
and
mean, your
yeah.
quarterback's on a rookie quarterback. Now's the time to give this
Quarterback's
guy.
on a rookie quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, a rookie contract. Yeah. Rookie
Yeah.
contract.
But that is, you know, you were looking for other Patriots-related items. That's another one. I think Albert Breer had an item saying that the Patriots had interest. But, you know, it was definitely couched, you know, if in fact he would be available, which tells me that there's really not really been any
Yeah. I mean,
groundswell yet.
So what's the
But yeah,
most you'd give up?
I'd be absolutely interested in getting Terry McLaurin. And yes, the wide receiver room is better than it was last year, but not by much.
Well, it's really all the same people with Diggs.
Well, I would count Kyle Williams
Right.
as in a group, but like
Yeah.
I don't like. I'm just going by last year.
Yeah.
Well, they had a second round wide receiver last year coming in that everybody was high on too. So I'm not going to get lost on the third round pick in Kyle Williams until he's actually that.
Yep.
You know, everybody last spring told me that Jalen Polk was
Right.
X, Y, and
He'll
Z.
be fine. Yeah.
He'll be fine, and I didn't see it. And got mocked and ridiculed as I want to do.
Yeah.
Alex, that's want with an O.
Want.
Want.
Oh.
Yes, with an O.
Yeah.
Add it to the glossary.
Yes.
Um,
But I would. We talked a little bit on Tuesday about what would we give up for McLaurin. I would go all in on that one.
you'd give a first?
I'd give it first if I had to. I mean, I'm
I
obviously
feel
not
like
looking
you would
to.
have to if you wanted to do it because
And I would
you
give him
don't
the
really have
contract.
the
Well,
leverage.
yeah, that's part of the
Yeah.
deal.
But I don't want to do this as like a rental. I want
Yeah.
him. I think
Yeah.
he's a really, really good player.
What do you think about the Jets? They give Wilson the contract, then the next day they give Sauce Gardner the
yeah.
contract.
Yeah.
They're
Very un-Jets like.
yeah, but they're trying to send a message to their team and fan base. We're all in.
I guess so.
Yep.
The drama has been down for the Jets. I don't know if this. I'm going to give Aaron Glenn credit until I see them play, and then they look like the same old
Right.
Jets.
Right.
But
The
until
wheels
then,
fall
I'm
off.
going to give him credit because this has been a very atypical Jets offseason.
Truly.
Todd has a little of the good old who/what is the best.
Who/what
So
is the
off
best?
season edition. Robin
Thanks.
Williams or Tom Hanks as an actor.
Wow, that's totally different kinds.
I think Tom Hanks has had better roles.
I think Tom Hanks is probably a better actor. I think Robin Williams is probably a more talented individual.
He's
Yeah.
just played some really beloved characters
Yeah.
too. But come
Yeah.
to my head.
Eric or Andy as
Tom
host for the
Hanks.
post game.
Andy.
Andy, okay. In-ground pool or beach house?
Beach house.
Yeah, I
Value.
take the beach house.
Investment.
Yeah, I take the beach.
Beach house.
Like my dream is to go to bed listening to the waves.
Yes.
Like I'll
With-
never
With some
achieve
French
that,
doors
but
or like sliders
Yeah.
that you can have a screen and
Yeah.
just have that breeze come in. No
give me
AC
that all
necessary.
day.
Yeah.
Yep. Italian or Chinese food?
Italian.
Oh, Italian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deuce or Paul as a ping pong partner?
Deuce. I'm going to guess that he's good at that.
I feel like Deuce would be very surprisingly really good
Really?
at ping pong.
Well, it's
Yeah.
probably like one of his cousins.
I
was
really
the
like
champion
playing
in
ping pong, but I'm not.
1910.
I
I'm
feel
not a
like the
very good
hockey
player.
stick skill set, stick handling might transfer well to ping pong.
I just feel like Deuce is good at all of those sort of quirky
He's
things.
like wiry and athletic and
Yeah.
springy.
This one's a layup. Alex or Evan as your Super Bowl party coordinator? Oh, it's got to be
God.
Alex. I mean, Evan would be like, what would he do?
In another life, I think I
He'd
was
be
a party
breaking down
planner.
the all 22.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. Fred or Paul on Jeopardy? Oh, that's Paul. God.
On
He'd
Jeopardy?
Yeah, you'd kill me.
It's not Patriots Jeopardy.
Oh, that's
Well,
a good question.
You know way more than I do.
I don't know. I'm not quick. I'm not
I-
quick like
Yeah,
that.
that's true. Half of it is ringing the buzzer.
Right.
I do really like Jeopardy, but in fairness, I would
don't know.
flame out.
I forget to say the what is and the who is.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Or you would have the right answer in your head, but what come out of
Right.
your
So
mouth
that
would be
happens to me
different.
a lot when I
that's
watch.
my problem. I have that issue.
I'll look at Beth and I'll say, well, that's what I meant.
Right.
And she knows like when I'm
Yes.
Yeah.
like actually
Right.
I was on it, but I don't say the right thing.
Yeah. You guys have that thing going on too.
There was one.
You speak Fred.
Right.
I do speak.
And Fred speaks Paul.
But I think you would beat me in Jeopardy. I think you have a far greater breadth of knowledge than I
Well,
do.
Eric would be.
Knows a
both.
little
Oh,
about
I mean,
a lot.
Come on.
Right.
I know a little about a lot. Fred knows everything.
I don't know about that. Matt or Alex in the booth when an earthquake occurs? In the booth. You mean like a broadcast booth?
Or that booth. Like that,
Oh.
Alex.
The new Alex?
Oh, the
Oh,
other
right.
Alex.
New
Oh,
Alex.
okay. Oh, Matt.
many
I mean,
Alexes.
no
We
no
gotta
disrespect to
establish it.
Alex, but I want the experience.
I was
Alex
first.
Queimado, we should call him, we'll just call him by his name, Ace. Everybody's called him Ace since we were kids.
Plus, if it's an
Too many
earthquake, I
outs.
want to be with a Marine. Lead me
Yeah.
to safety.
Oh yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah,
Don't worry. You don't
yeah.
want you don't want Ace.
Yeah.
We don't want Ace.
Yeah, that's no offense to Alex. I just think Matt's probably been trained in these.
Yeah, absolutely.
Situations.
I like the game though.
Rob in the Pacific Northwest. Let's just say Drake plays as well as Matt Castle. What is the Patriots' record?
As well as Matt Castle
8-9.
ish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't have the kind of roster that they had for Matt Castle.
It might not even be that good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And then you can say, well, what do you think the Patriots' record is? And that's about what I think the Patriots will be with Drake May too. So it's kind of caught me there.
6 or 7.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Bart in Poland. Why does Paul think that Terry McLaurin would cost a first? He's 30, and while a great wide receiver, closer to the top 10, 15 range than top 5, 27-year-old DK Metcalf went for a second. A.J. Brown went for a first, but he was 25 at the time. 28-year-old Tyreek Hill went for a late first and additional picks, but he was probably the best wide receiver in football at that time. The point is that the trade values of players are almost never what we think they are. I think McLaurin goes for a second, and even a third wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah,
Okay.
Bart is very much right about trade values are never what you think they are.
Yeah.
They're always a little bit less. I think that's a good rule of thumb. I would just say that he's more A.J. Brown than DK Metcalf. He's a better player than DK Metcalf. By a lot, in my view.
Okay.
Just my view.
Yep.
And his age is accurate. A.J. Brown was much younger than McLaurin at the time of the potential trade.
Yep.
But, yeah, I mean, I think probably a second at minimum.
All right.
But the question was, what would you be willing to give up? And I would say a first if that's what it takes.
Yeah.
Like I think a lot of the player, and I would give up a significant resource to get him.
Travis in West Virginia says or asks, can we impose a moratorium on listeners asking where to eat, where to stay, what to do? Have these people not heard of the internet? It's kind of a good point. But
Yeah.
but sometimes you want an opinion of someone who you kind of know, and people kind of know us.
Like,
yeah,
the
and they know-
local
word of
perspective.
mouth.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
if Fred, or like even
you
more
guys
important, if
barely
Alex
answered the
thinks,
winter recommendations from last week or from Tuesday.
but if Alex thinks like a certain restaurant is worth going to, I think that would speak more than if I did. Because Alex has a much more sophisticated
Yeah.
palate than I do.
Yeah.
Depends who's asking too.
No, that's true.
You know.
That's like that would be a Fred. Who's asking?
Also, Travis, as I want to do, says, I would like to point out that the PU newsletter email of the week was once again a 13,000-word essay, which should automatically disqualify it. Well, definitely
Putting long emails
disqualifies
in
it
there,
from
huh?
being read on this show, but, yeah. Hey, you don't have to read it if you don't want to, right?
I mean,
But everybody reads it. The numbers, what the numbers are.
No, I'm
if
talking
it's
about the email of the week.
it's the email of the week.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What?
I'm waiting for some quip
No,
from you.
no, I'm moving on.
Fred forwards me good emails, and we pick one.
Okay.
I try.
I was asking how that. I was sort of wondering how that gets determined.
On Friday, she says, you got an email of the week? And then I go, oh, shoot. 'cause
And
I
then he
haven't done it
forwards me a
yet. Then I go
handful.
back to all the emails.
And you get stuck.
and
picking.
Sometimes in
I
the
scan them
moment-
on and I just send what.
Sometimes in the moment he'll send one my way on like a Tuesday and be like, good potential for.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I'm like,
okay.
cool.
that's what you should do.
That's what I should do.
That's what you
Every
should
week's
do.
different.
Like you know it when you see it.
You want to take that over?
No.
Okay. all
I've
right.
taken enough things over this off season. I'm already on edge.
Look at him ranting again today.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's go to the hotline, 855 PATS 500. Deshaun's in Virginia. What's up, Deshaun?
Hello, guys. How you guys doing this afternoon?
Okay.
Good, good. I just want to explain about the fact that this is my beef that I have with Pat Staples right now. There's like this awful display of dialogue about Terry McLaurin potentially coming here because he has to face his wide receiver position. it's so problematic to the point they won't be at least competitive enough, at least doable enough, especially with the defense that people expect them to have. It's not happening. That's kind of like, I see how you guys, whatever. The Patriots actually want a true number one seed. They have to go out and actually draft one. And, get one. They won't be able to get one this year. So I was basically thinking, like, they won't probably be as bad enough to perhaps get a first or get a top 10 pick come next draft. But I was thinking, like, they may have to sacrifice 2027's first round pick if they want to move up to try to get a spectacular receiver in this upcoming year's draft in 2026. Because they're not going to get one because right now the wide receiver market is going to be like full of retired or like a retirement home. If you look at the receiving option, going to be available next year in free agency. That's all I have to say.
Okay, thanks.
I just would push back a little bit on how high you have to pick to get the number one receiver.
I mean, there's been plenty of second. You just got to pick the right one.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think that position in general is really blowing up in college. I think we're getting to the point where it's like 4 or 5, as many as 8 quality receivers are getting taken almost every draft.
Yep.
Is Nico Collins a number one receiver?
Should be, yeah.
Just right off the top of my head, Puka Nacua is a number one receiver. And okay, those guys are anomalies. When I think Nacua was like a 5th round pick. Okay, granted. But do you have to pick in the top 10?
No, not anymore.
Does it have to be Malik Neighbors,
No.
or can it be Brian Thomas, who was like in the middle of the round?
Right.
Yeah.
Brian Thomas had a really good rookie year.
Yeah, I think the point is more and more good receivers being cultivated in college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
college is not just a running game
to your
anymore.
point,
Yeah.
you got to identify. Ladd McConkey, early 2nd round pick.
Right. All you had to do was listen to me.
Yeah,
Listen to Fred.
Envelope
So
guy.
maybe he's not a number one receiver. Maybe he's not the traditional number one receiver. But there are really good players that get taken at different spots.
Yeah.
You don't have to pick the best receiver in the top. Jamar Chase went 5 overall. I get it. But
the hype doesn't always
T. Higgins went in the
translate.
2nd round.
Right. And then Marvin Harrison Jr., maybe he will pan out to be an amazing receiver, but I think the expectation him coming to the league, I don't know if he lived up to it.
Yeah,
So.
but those guys were all really high picks.
Right.
But they're not the only really good receivers that came out of that class. Neighbors, Harrison, Thomas. Who's the other one that I'm forgetting?
Harrison? Oh, you said Harrison.
Yeah, I forget now. But just in general, I think that the receiver position is going to get you anywhere between 5 and 10 really good players every draft. Fred's right. The trick is to find one.
Right.
Yeah. Jason wants to know, if you could guarantee one win on our schedule this year, what game would it be and why?
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
I think it's the worst team in football.
Okay.
I would say a division, probably like a Miami game.
Really? See, I think they're going to win one of those, but we're being asked to guarantee, and obviously you can't do that because. But I was going to say
Tennessee
Panthers.
at
Miami
home?
on the road.
I was going to say the Panthers.
I'm
but
not willing to do that one. Is
Yeah.
Tennessee at home?
I don't know.
If Tennessee's at home, I might edge Tennessee over New Orleans because I think those are the 2 worst teams that the Patriots play.
I think they are. I think it is at home. So I think I remember them coming here, but
Yeah, if Tennessee is a home game, and forgive me for not having the schedule committed to memory, that I will give Tennessee the nod over New Orleans. I think those 2 teams are going to struggle. New Orleans, I think, is going to be the worst team in the league, though. At least Tennessee has a number 1 overall pick quarterback. You never know. He might be the 3rd, after C.J. Stroud, and then Jaden Daniels. Maybe Cam Ward does for his team what those guys did. No one was predicting that for Washington last year.
yeah. We've got a Brunt work boot review from one of our listeners, Phil in North Carolina. He says, I'm in sales, but need safety boots as I'm in waste and recycling and go on a lot of construction sites, commercial sites requiring safety boots, dirty areas here in eastern North Carolina. Finally broke down and got the Omen boots after seeing the ads and hearing them sponsor on PU. Loving them so far. They look great and they are comfortable to walk around for lengthy periods of time no matter where I am. So there you go.
Love it.
And you can get your own Omen boots at bruntworkwear.com. Go to bruntworkwear.com/Pats or with coupon code PATS, and you can also get $10 off of it. And if you don't like it, just send it back. So, Brunt Workwear. The Omen boots.
Wonder are those the ones we got? I wonder.
I don't know which ones we got. I want to get the other ones, like traditional work boots. I want to get those because the ones I have now are like on their last legs. Yeah.
That they sent you, or like your old pair?
No, my old pair. They're
Got it.
not. They're not
Yeah.
Brunt. They were a former sponsor.
Yep. You too?
Yeah.
You still have those
I
same
still
ones?
have those.
I told you I had
Yeah.
I had to put duct tape to use last
Yeah,
year.
yeah. Mine
My
are,
soul came off.
mine
in
are
the middle
kind of
of a
like the
snowstorm.
same way.
Take them to like a cobbler.
The
Oh,
Omen
Are they
the
too
one that
trashed?
sent
Gone,
us.
gone, gone.
Oh, they are.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Cool.
He's got a picture of them now. He sent the same ones that we have.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
so-
like them.
Yeah. They're just too nice. Well, like they don't seem like work boots. They seem like dress boots.
Well,
I
that's
rocked
what.
them through I rocked them through Foxwoods.
Oh yeah.
Well, if you're in sales, going on construction sites or like selling equipment, probably perfect boot.
Yeah. I get.
You know.
There you go. Because you want to have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Back to the phones. We go. Anthony's in Seattle. What's up, Anthony?
Hey, what's up, Fred, Paul, Alex? How you guys doing?
Okay.
Great.
Meh.
All right. Hey, Paul, I wish you were at the show last week. I took a pretty good shot at the guy who wanted you guys to punch Pop Douglas in the face to prove you weren't frauds. Hey, you guys led off Tuesday's show with things you're excited about, things you're worried about, and then I agreed for the most part with what you guys are saying, but there was one that Fred brought up I thought was interesting, positive surprises. I thought that was interesting because it's kind of hard to, like, pick something that you're hopeful to happen and then also say you'll be surprised about it. So that was an interesting one to think about. But I had one that I wanted to, that I thought was pretty good. The kicker. What if the kicker is just like absolute money? Like, you know, like he comes in like out of nowhere, like Brandon Aubrey did for Dallas. Like, who the hell is this guy? Just knocking them down, 60, 57, 47. You put the ball in front of him, he's just knocking them through. And, like, let's say they hit ceiling, and let's say they go 11-6, and they're like 5-0 in games decided by 3 points or less because he's just like, it's like clear as day, like he's filled in that slim margin of victory or margin of error between wins and losses. I think that would be, and then also like then by the end of the season you feel like, wow, we've got our kicker, he's a rookie, so you got our kicker for the next 15, 20 years. I think that will qualify as a positive surprise.
I would agree.
What you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
If he's Brandon Aubrey, yeah, that would be a surprise.
Okay. That's what he's saying.
But everybody has a good kicker. Like, how was the Patriots kicking last year? It was fine.
Well, some kickers are better than others.
Yeah, Brandon Aubrey.
Yeah.
I would say would qualify as a surprise.
I mean, Justin Tucker over his career,
yeah, everybody has that,
Nobody,
That's what I
not
would say.
everybody has that.
pretty much.
Oh, stop.
Like Daniel Carlson. Like everybody has a good kicker.
I feel like
Every
we've
once in a
had
while, you
some-
have a year where you can't make one. The Chad Ryland year for the Patriots.
Well, that's what I was just gonna say.
Right?
Is
Everybody has a year where
that
they
year
just
it
struggle
felt like
like
there were
crazy.
a handful of games.
Most years,
that could have been won if a kick had been made.
absolutely, he had an abnormally bad year, which is
And
why he was a
last
one and
year
done.
was
Now, what happened last
fine,
year with him?
but not great. Well, Chad Ryland, he
Just
played
went somewhere
great.
else and he went back to normal because he was in a slump that one year. It happens. But I think for the most part, yes, Justin Tucker better than mostly because of longevity and consistency.
Yeah. Well, no, accuracy
Daniel
too.
Carlson, what's
Adam
Boswell?
Vinatieri.
Is it Boswell in Pittsburgh? Chris Boswell,
yeah.
that I'm thinking of. Brandon Aubrey in Dallas. There's a handful that are really good every year.
But I think what
But like the Detroit kid that came out of the UFL, he was nails all season for the Lions.
Yeah.
Like they're all kind of
But I
good.
don't
They all
think
make
they're
like
guys who can,
85% of
rely
their
on
kicks.
to that degree, like a Aubrey Tucker. Like if our kicker is one of those guys, that's money.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think more teams have money than you think.
Well, but I think I would like to differentiate. And thanks for the call, Anthony. I would like to differentiate from a guy making 85% of his kicks to the guy who, whenever it's on the line in
That was
clutch
Adam.
time, he makes them.
That was Adam.
Yeah, that's Adam, and
Yeah.
that's what I hope this guy is.
That and
Every-
also,
every-
can he
I agree, Freddie.
back up the distance that we would consider, okay, we're in field goal range,
Yep.
whereas
Yeah.
it might have been a lot closer
But like
last year.
I believe last year, they set a record for like highest percentage of 55-plus yard field goal percentage, something like that, like league wide. Like that number, to Alex's point, is getting
Goes
further
back
and
and
further
back
away
every year. Yeah.
Joey Sly made a 63-yarder.
Oh,
last year.
there'll be a 70-yarder within the next 5 years.
Yeah.
I'm convinced
Totally.
of it.
I believe it.
Yeah.
So, like, he's right. Anthony is absolutely right. Like, Brandon Aubrey, like what he was last year, was different. Like, he just made every kick. I think he made an obscene amount of plus 50-yarders. That's a weapon. But I just feel like the kicking in general in the league, 28 or so teams feel okay about their kicking situation. Every once in a while, and the Patriots were one of those teams 2 years ago, you're looking for somebody because you just can't make a field goal and it kills you. It does kill you when you don't have it.
Yeah.
It just, I don't think very many teams don't have it.
Yeah. Let's see. What do we got here? Who is this? Someone named Christian in L.A. What's up?
Hey, you guys. Good day to you all. So we're talking about wide receivers and stuff, and it just came to mind with me, especially when you guys said earlier that they're producing better and better crops of wide receivers and higher numbers. And it seems like to me that then translates to teams like Washington and some of the other teams being a little more open to letting some of these number ones go. And I just feel like at this point in this team's evolution, we have to do what we need to do to get a professional wide receiver. We've proven over the years we just cannot draft them. Tight ends, we're great. Halfbacks, we're great. Defense, we're really great at just finding guys in different places on the first, second, third, fourth round. We have never been like the Pittsburgh Steelers are and been able to just draft year after year great wide receivers. So it seems like for the good of the team, we need to just stop trying. And let's just do what we need to do consistently to get a professional wide receiver shaken loose from one of these teams, since they're feeling also like 6, 7, 8 wide receivers are coming out every year that can produce. What do you guys feel about that?
Well, I agree they haven't really done well lately trying to draft a wide receiver, but that doesn't mean you stop trying. And by the way, they has changed. I mean, I know Elliott's
Right.
been
Brian
here,
Cowden's
but
not been here.
Yeah, exactly.
Mike Vrabel hasn't been here,
Right.
hasn't been part of it.
Right. So let's see what these guys can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like that line of thought. I think it's another one of those calls that he doesn't really like that line of thought either, but like, just don't try. Okay.
Right.
We won't have wide receivers.
Right.
We'll just,
Yeah. So
I don't like that.
No.
Should
Every
they not
year's
have drafted
different.
Drake May because Mac Jones didn't work out?
look, they used first-round picks on Ben Watson and Daniel Graham, and they were okay players, but they weren't first-round talents at tight end. Should they have stopped trying? Well, if they had, they wouldn't have had Rob Gronkowski. I know he was a second-round pick, but
No, but you're
I'm
right.
I'm talking about drafting tight ends.
You're absolutely
know?
right. That's a great example of it. They kept drafting tight ends, and then all of a sudden they found a Hall of Famer.
Right. So, yeah, you don't stop trying. You just got to get it right. Emery's in Virginia. What's up, Emery?
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hey.
Hope all is well. Hey, listen, I got some good news, some great news.
Okay.
The curse will end this season as far as drafting wide receivers. We're going to get to see it in our lifetime because I believe this kid, Kyle Williams, is a hit.
Okay.
And I want to ask you a question. Right now, with his current skill set, is he better than Chris 7-Eleven Hogan and Malcolm Mitchell? I'll take it off there.
I hope so.
He's got a better skill set than Chris Hogan. I don't know enough about Malcolm Mitchell because I never really saw him healthy to know what his skill set was.
Yeah, he had like 1 year in the league, right?
Yeah. Malcolm Mitchell was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's a better player than Chris Hogan.
Yeah.
In terms of skill set, we'll see what he is as an NFL player.
Yeah.
I think he's probably more athletic.
Yeah.
faster.
Although he doesn't have the cloak of invisibility.
No.
Yeah.
No, that is true. You see, Rashee Rice
know about that?
got,
I don't think I
got
do.
sentenced.
Yeah,
Did you see
Chris
this?
Hogan, what?
Rashee Rice got 30 days in jail, 5 years probation.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Yeah, Chris Hogan, he would just all of a sudden get wide open. I mean, like where everybody else is on one side of the field, and he's the only one standing there, and, whether it was Garoppolo or Brady would hit him with a pass, and it's like, how did he get that open? So we said he had a cloak of invisibility where no one would see him until it was time.
And it kind of caught on.
Yeah.
And we invented that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it
among
just
many other trends you guys started.
There was one game in particular, I want to say it was a Baltimore game at night here, that like it was back and forth. The Ravens were sort of hanging around, and and then all of a sudden he just like went 75 yards. Like no one covered him. He was all by himself.
Yeah. He did it in Arizona too when Garoppolo was playing, I remember. You know. It was like literally I'm looking at because I'm there and I'm looking at the left side of the field, and he's the only one standing there. Like no one was even within the zip code.
They just didn't care.
Well, they just said he's a lacrosse player. We don't have to cover him. No, I don't know. It was weird how many times he was like uncovered down the field.
Yep. Let's see. Anthony writes in, why guarantee a win over a bottom of the league team? Because we talked about
which we were asked to give a guaranteed win.
I know. I can understand your point of view, but why wouldn't you want a big win over Buffalo in Buffalo or Miami in Miami? Something to really show the rest of the league that we're on the rise. I say week 2 in Miami, we need to exercise our demons against Tua in game. Look, I hope they win those games. Those would be great. But
the question was, what would you
guarantee?
What would be the most exciting win that you could see? That might have been a different answer.
See, I misunderstood the question, which is why I said Miami on the road. I thought it was like if you could guarantee, as in like you're willing it into existence that they're going to beat this team.
Well, no,
what you want the most.
I took it more like you got a gun to your head and you have to guarantee a win.
You have to put the mortgage on one game.
Right. If I would trade a loss to the Saints for a win over Miami
on the road
100 times.
Correct.
Any
so
day.
I was thinking of it, I think, a little more so how they interpreted the question.
Yeah. You might be right.
Well, you guys might be right too.
Yeah, you might be right. It might be just what if there was one game that you could guarantee that they win, what would you most want to win?
It to be, right. That's why I was thinking like
for me it would be at Miami just to get rid of that.
That's what I was saying too, exactly.
We're talking about like why would the Commanders trade McLaurin? You know, they got a good thing going. They got Voodoo writes in, for context, the Commanders are mistaken for being this young, exciting team when in reality they're actually the second oldest team in the league. That's not the point. The point is the window's open. They've got this young quarterback. Yeah, like now is the time. And why would you take away from this young quarterback his best receiver?
They went to the NFC Championship game last year. Who cares, like, their age? They don't need to be young to develop into something. They were something last year. Now, I'm skeptical that they'll be able to repeat it. But if I were Washington, I wouldn't be saying, I don't need Terry McLaurin because that's going to help me, duplicate what we did last year. That's crazy.
Yep.
I didn't realize that they were that old, but I think just having a really young, exciting quarterback and then also just new ownership, there's just like a lot of fresh feelings.
Another great
down
point,
there,
Alex.
And sometimes those rankings of who's older and younger, you really need to look at it because sometimes it's an average. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it can be skewed by a couple older players. And also the difference between, 10 and 5 or 5 is like half a year, so you have to look at that.
Not even, but I think Alex's point that just made me think of it too is really good because, they did. They brought in a lot of veteran free agents to fill gaps like Bobby Wagner and Zach Ertz, and those guys are going to make your age. But why is Washington good? Jaden Daniels.
Right.
They're not going anywhere if he's the real deal.
Right.
As long as he's really good, I don't care who the other guys are.
Yep.
They're going to be good. You can be great if you augment him with guys like Terry McLaurin. But you're going to be baseline good. Look what the Chiefs have done.
Right. Yep.
The Chiefs were great with Tyreek Hill. Right?
Yep. The offense was great.
But they let him go, and now their offense has been good.
Yeah.
Now, they've still been a good team because it's Mahomes. They know how to win. They're a lot like the Patriots in that way.
Yep.
Good coach. They're going to find a way to beat you more often than not. But if you want to maximize your championship window, you don't let guys like Terry McLaurin go.
Right. Mike and the OC, happy Thursday. Excited for the next episode of Forge and Foxborough tomorrow and the live shows next week for training camp. Are we expecting Stefon Diggs to be placed on the PUP list? I was really hoping there's a chance for him to start contributing closer to week 1 so we can at least see the receiving core close to full strength early in the season. I
don't know.
I don't think he's going to be out there on day one, though, right?
Yeah, I don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
I would say if he is in fact opening camp on PUP, don't completely dismiss the possibility of him being ready for week 1.
Right.
Yeah.
Those two
that's a
things
good
don't
point.
necessarily have to
Right.
equal one another.
Question for the group, mostly Alex. Would love to know if you have a favorite reality TV show you always tune in for, or which show would you love to be a contestant on?
I am unlike a lot of women I'm friends with. I hate reality TV. I don't have time for it. I think it's so stupid. I think I lose brain cells when I watched it. My college roommates would kick me out of the house on Mondays when they were watching The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, because I would just sit there and
Make
just
snarky
talk about
comments. Yeah.
how
Snarky
stupid the
comments.
people were and how unrealistic
can't
it
stand them.
was. And if I had to, so like my reality TV is like sports and like HGTV and the Food Network. That's what I like. I like the Dallas Cowboy Cheerleader show a lot. So I guess if
likes
I
that
had to
show
be a
too.
contestant and it came with the skill and the attractiveness level of those girls, I would want to be on that show. Otherwise, I would love like a
I did
cooking.
not peg Alex for a Dallas Cowboy
home and
cheerleader
garden.
wannabe.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, it's like you got to respect the greatness. I was never a cheerleader, but if I could be at that level,
Yeah.
snap my finger.
Do you have
oh,
a favorite reality show?
I don't watch them. I really don't.
So-
honestly,
It's
I
so
But
terrible.
I was listening
all
to
the
Howard.
Love Island stuff. Oh my God, I can't wait.
I was
till
listening
never
to Howard
hear that
Stern,
show
and he
again.
was making fun of people. Like, why would anyone watch WWE? And I was thinking to myself, you watch The Bachelor, like which is as vapid as anything.
Well,
Yeah.
so that's a great
Very low
segue to what I was going
vibrational
to talk about.
content.
The idea of reality television sort of intrigues me, but it's so scripted, and it
It used
just
to be great.
Right.
like it bothers me that people think that these are real
Yes.
situations, and it's never real. Like
Flavor
Bachelor,
of Love, Jersey Shore, like Laguna Beach. That was like the heyday. And even those were so scripted too. But
and I didn't even watch those.
it wasn't as just terrible and
But like
corny
the
as they
idea,
are
like
now.
we were watching. I was telling you guys, like Beth the other night was like, well, you know, like Bachelor in Paradise is. I'm like, oh, okay, and I just like I end up sitting there and I'm like, you know that this is all fake,
Yeah.
right? Like this
Well,
is
I
so
just that
contrived.
and the housewives stuff and like
Yeah.
ugh, it
that's
just,
really contrived.
I hate it.
Yeah,
you
except
know?
for my girl Bethany Frankel. But other than that, hate it. What was I just gonna say?
My
too?
wife loves those murder ones, where they snapped and buried in the backyard,
Oh,
like they're
okay.
real stuff.
Like
and they
true
go,
crime.
like Dateline.
yeah,
and
and they go
crime
back
stuff.
and they true
48
crime.
hours.
They talk to the
Well,
detectives.
those I would
and-
argue are more even like documentary than they are.
Yeah, they're not
scripted,
reality.
fake
Well, they are reality,
shows,
but like yeah.
you know.
But
I
I
know.
don't like those. Like ugh.
Love is, and there's a reality TV show for everything now. Like
Yeah.
everyone has a reality show. Like
90
Love
Day
on the
Fiancé.
Spectrum, 98.
Love on the
for-
Spectrum.
Oh my God! I saw I visited my grandma in Florida. There's a Portuguese 90 Day Fiance, and I'm like trying to explain to my 80-year-old grandmother that this is not real. Like they don't actually love. Like I don't know. She's so invested.
You feel bad watching Love on the Spectrum. 'Cause you're not making fun of them, but at the same time you are.
But you
Why
watch.
is that a show? Like
Oh yes, you are.
But you watch is what I'm saying.
Sometimes. Not as much as I'll admit. Love is Blind is my thing.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
watch-
day one for that shit.
I don't
would
watch
never.
a lot of that stuff.
I would never take you for a Love Is Blind guy.
I'm hooked with that show.
I don't
Alright.
watch any of those.
To each their own. I can't do it.
Like Big Brother, I'll watch a little bit. I don't like it much, but summer, there's nothing on. Everything, all of my
I
shows
liked
are
the
all in
Real
reruns,
World,
Freddie. You
but
know I've
it's
seen
just,
them all.
It's not like that anymore now.
Yeah,
it's
Real
just
World when it first
vapid
started
is the-
was groundbreaking.
You said vapid. That's the best word I could think of for it.
Yeah, it's mindless. I get people they want to just sit back and passively watch and all that.
But I'll
stuff.
watch like The Office or Family Guy
Yeah,
if I want something.
give me
If I want
sports.
mindless TV, you know, just
Yeah.
to
Fred
have
doesn't.
something
Fred
on in the
doesn't.
background.
He's too good for like network sitcoms. And
Right,
stuff.
right.
He's too highbrow.
I'd rather
I'll
watch
that.
my favorite My Lottery Dream House.
Me
I'd rather
too.
watch
Oh,
that.
Me too. House Hunters all day.
I like My Lottery Dream House.
I turn it off though when I hear like, okay, so you're always eager to see, okay, what did they win?
Right.
I want a scratcher and I want to spend $200,000.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I'm
Click,
out.
Click.
Yeah.
like
I agree, Fred.
Well, especially
totally with you.
I saw a TikTok, so take this with a grain of salt, but HGTV was like reaching out to local Cape Cod realtors saying they were looking for someone that was a prospective buyer in the Cape Cod area that wanted a beach house, and they were looking for people with budgets of $600,000 to $700,000 to be
Where
on
you
the
gonna
show.
buy a beach house
and
on the
they were
Cape for
going
that?
all along the coast, and I was like, did they do any market research?
Right.
Like, you can't get a shack 2 miles away from the beach for
No.
$600,000 on Cape Cod.
Right.
So
Like,
I thought that was pretty funny.
So, is this a show in production? Like,
Allegedly.
so we might see something there?
So
I
those,
mean, they
those
probably
shows are
won't
largely
find-
scripted too. You know
Yes,
that.
they
Oh
are.
yeah. Oh yeah. You can just tell from the interaction.
Yeah.
Gary Streisky from ESPN
I
did one of those
saw that,
shows,
yeah.
and he kind of told me like a little bit about the process. But I don't remember if this was the case for him. But sometimes the houses they go tour aren't even for sale. Sometimes it's just a friend's house that they're like, oh,
Really?
can we film there?
Oh, now
And
that stinks.
usually too, they've already bought the house they're gonna pick in the end for
You're
house
kidding me?
hunters.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, see that's awful.
I know, right?
That is awful.
And they always pick like 3, but there's like a million houses. These people.
Yeah.
Look, I do like the improvement shows, the home improvement.
I love those because I don't need the drama of like finding the house and oh my God, there's a load-bearing wall. What are we gonna
But
do?
it's
you know,
it's different
like the
drama.
end. Yeah.
It's different drama, and I always
this
make
is
fun of
why-
Beth about that. But unlike the Bachelor shows, I actually enjoy like the
Me
the Mars
too.
family.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
they I kind of like them. I think he's kind of cool. But there's always some like right in the middle. It's like like to your point,
Yeah.
like,
Oh, we
I don't-
found mold.
Is that a load-bearing
Yeah.
wall? Or that
Yeah.
we're
It's
gonna have
always
to,
a load-bearing wall.
We're gonna have to
Oh,
make
no,
the
we need a
call, and then they
beam.
get the phone out. And
The
they're like-
engineer.
So, Fred's point, like there's mold. So we might have to do away with the second bathroom, but it's going to cost about $12,000.
Yeah.
And then miraculously, by the end of the commercial break, it's all fixed.
Right.
You know,
Yep.
and it's so phony.
I
it's
was a,
contrived.
I
But
was
do,
a
li-
weird,
I do like those shows.
I do too. I was a weird kid where like I was rushing to get my homework done after school so that I could watch. There's this show called Knock First that was like an interior design show. Actually, Tanya Nayak, who's a Boston
I
woman,
remember
was
her.
the host. Yeah, got to meet her a couple years ago. But I was like rushing to get my homework to watch HGTV like instead of cartoons. I was a really weird kid.
She was rushing to get her homework done to watch a television network that
Yeah.
didn't exist when we were getting our homework
They didn't
done.
have TiVo back then, I guess. Remember TiVo?
Well, if they had it, but I was like later in elementary school and we didn't have it. I never had TiVo.
Okay. Back to the phones we go. Let's see. What do we got here? Tim in South Carolina. Hey, Tim.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good.
Hey, I had a quick comment and then a question about the show. I was meaning to call in for a while about this, but since you guys talked about it the other day, it makes more sense. I really appreciate the positivity that you guys bring to Boston sports. The other media outlets are not so positive. They make you think that this is the worst time to be alive in Boston sports, and you guys just are real and make it really enjoyable to be a fan.
Oh, thank you. I mean,
And then,
go ahead.
oh, yeah, I just had a quick question about the show. I didn't listen for a while after the season, like up until the draft, so I definitely missed this. But what happened to Tamara?
She left for greener pastures. I hope.
Ah, that's too bad. I always
Yeah.
really enjoyed her on the show.
Yep. So, is that it?
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
Great day, guys.
Thanks for the call, Tim. Yeah, I mean,
I
we're
love-
not always.
I love the positivity.
I mean, we look. We try to
Positive Paul.
look.
It's not the job.
This is a show about the Patriots from inside the Patriots. So we're homers.
I don't think people would have been calling in last year saying, "Oh,
No.
just really
But-
appreciate the
but
positivity."
I was going to say, but we're always going to look in the bright side. But I think we try to be honest with how we think things are going.
And I would just push back, like locally, right now, the expectations for the Patriots to me are borderline out of whack. Positive.
Well,
Yeah.
the Patriots are like somehow, I don't know, last couple years it's been crazy to think about this, but like the Patriots have the most promise right now of all the teams. You could argue since the Red Sox started their winning streak.
Sox.
Fred's Red Sox. Fred's Red Sox.
I think the Sox are loaded. I
So,
really do.
I don't think they're loaded, but I think that
3 weeks ago, though, like post Devers,
3 weeks ago, I still
before-
thought that way.
See, I don't even
You've been
care
on-
about the
you've
10-game
been
winning
riding
streak.
them.
I care that they have these young guys that are
Yes.
up and playing, and now this,
But
to
I'm
me,
talking about
something to look forward
sentiment
to.
of the fan base. And again, this
Yeah.
was pre-Red Sox winning streak.
Yeah.
The Patriots
I
were
totally
like
agree.
But listen, it all hinges on the pitchers right now.
Yeah.
And Crochet is he's the ace.
Crochet.
But Giolito needs to keep it up.
That's why they need a number 2 star.
Yeah, they need some pitching help. There's no doubt. The Tanner Houck thing, I predicted his demise. There was something up with him from the All-Star break last year till now. There's something weird going on with him because he was lights out before that. Like the spin on his pitches were so tight, and then all of a sudden it just changed. And I don't know what happened, but he hasn't been the same pitcher yet since then. So, he was something I think they were hoping to count on, and now he's off the radar. They need some pitching help, and if they can get it, I think they've got the bats in the lineup to really make a dent this year. I think they can make a run. I really do.
I don't know about the bats, but they need some help pitching, and I agree with you. If they could get that trade for Joe Ryan from Minnesota,
If that can happen.
and all of a sudden Bayo and Giolito
he's
slotted
the other
down a
one.
spot, because Bayo's been great.
Bayo's been great. If he can
and
keep
he's
it up.
young. So this is, again, why I'm looking at – I've been busting Fred's chops because I'm getting into it a little bit for the first time in at least a couple of years because of Meyer, Anthony.
The young kids,
Yes.
yeah.
I like Dick Fitz,
Bayo.
too.
Nah. Yeah.
What? Nah.
I really like how the young kids are like, I don't know, I keep
Wish
seeing
Andy was here.
like the Boston female sports teams like love them and are obsessing over them, and they're like celebrities around town again, like going to the hottest places with the hottest girls in the city, and I like that in my athletes.
I like that in my athletes.
Okay. All right. They're all at the seaport.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Let's go to Nathan in Buffalo. Hey, Nathan.
Hey there, guys. So, with the Patriots, we're seeing these stories about them trying to get, Terry McLaurin right now. What would you give up for that? Like, what would you give up for that? Like, would you give up, because now with the running backs we have, we have 3 now. Would you give up Gibson or Stevenson for McLaurin, or a draft pick even?
I would give up a second and maybe some more. Paul would give up, private parts for him.
I would give up a
it sounds
first-round pick, but
yeah.
if I could give up Antonio Gibson for him, of course I would do that.
Yeah.
That's not an option.
Yeah.
Like, Ramondre Stevenson for Terry McLaurin is not an option.
Right.
Ramondre Stevenson in a second-round pick for Terry McLaurin might be an option.
Right.
But
yeah,
the draft pick is the key,
Yeah.
It's like, back to the Red Sox. Jaron Duran is the guy who's the centerpiece of that Joe Ryan trade that's been rumored. But you're not going to get Joe Ryan for Jaron
You're
Duran.
gonna have to.
You got to go up a prospect, too.
Yeah. So.
When's the deadline? The end of the month?
Yeah.
Thanks, Nathan.
But yes, I would be willing to give up. I mean, if it's a second-round pick, fine.
Yeah.
I would do that.
Eldred's in North Carolina. Hey, Eldred.
Hey, Alex. Fred.
Hi.
How you doing?
All
What's
right.
up, Big E?
Yeah. Question. Listen to one of them sports. I don't think it's Phosphor Rush or the other one. One of the top analysts in NFL ranked the Patriots 30th in wide receiver weapon. And see, last year they was 31.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably fair.
And it's fair because what they were saying is my boy's still hurt. Hollins is hurt. Polk ain't showed nothing. Baker ain't showed nothing. Pop ain't free. They're good breaking loose, as he put it, and they don't have a true X. So do you agree, or do you think it'll be a little different because they had that little outing? And I'll take it off the air.
I think anything can happen with that room. I mean, they could be like they were last year, or Stefon Diggs comes in, elevates everybody. Efton Chisholm becomes this slot guy. Polk, has a resurgence. Kyle Williams is, it's so unknown right now.
I think it was really difficult for them to
Yeah.
kind of factor the Patriots into these rankings because, I mean, you see that and you're like, okay, it's kind of fair because of the unknown, but
It's
then
all speculation.
Also, it's so much room to just really surprise people.
Yeah,
I would need, I think that 30 might be a little low. Maybe they're like, somewhere in the the low 20s, 26, 27. But I'm not going to quibble over a spot or two.
Yeah.
Like Diggs was already not Diggs from Buffalo last year before he got his ACL.
Well, but he was on pace for 1,000 yards.
He was on pace to average 10 yards a catch.
Yeah.
That's well below his average. Like,
but still 1,000 yards. The volume was going to be there.
Yeah, but that's below what he was.
Okay.
He was a 1,500 guy.
Yeah.
He was on pace for 1,000. It's relative, Fred.
Yeah.
He was well below what he was.
Okay.
Now, he will be the best the Patriots have, assuming he's healthy. Yes, and I think that's why you move up a few notches, because you didn't have that. But the rest is all kind of what you had. Kyle Williams is what you had with Jalen Polk. Potential. Until proven otherwise.
Until he proves it.
And I think he's going to be better than Jalen Polk. I like his skill set more than I like Jalen Polk's skill set. I'm higher on him than I was Jalen Polk.
But it's all unknown. It's all unknown.
I like the idea of Kyle Williams more than I like the idea of Jalen Polk.
And then, of course, the big factor is how much better will Drake May be, and how much does his improvement elevate the wide receivers? Like, it's all...
That's probably the most important point.
That's the big unknown this year is how much improved.
Maybe you could have had the
offense
same caliber of players around Drake May that you did last year, but Drake May is going to be so much better than he was, it's going to look better.
Right.
It's a good point.
All right. Food's here, so we'll take a break. Lots of calls, lots of emails on this off-season show. Appreciate it. We'll be right back.
Whether you're in the game or betting on the game, you'll need a game plan. DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the New England Patriots, provides you with everything you need to build your personal betting game plan so you can get in on all the action while practicing safe bets. Visit DraftKings.com/responsible-gaming to learn more about all the safe betting tools DraftKings has to offer. Hope is here, 800-327-5050 or gamblinghelplinema.org. Must be 21 plus. Play it smart from the start. GameSenseMA.com. Physically present in Massachusetts. See DraftKings.com/responsible-gaming for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources.
Isn't it time to get exactly what you want? Welcome to Red Hot Deal Days from Verizon, where you get your pick of our best deals. Like My Plan, where you can pick the perks you want and save on every one. For limited time, bring your own phones to a Verizon store and you can get My Plan for our best price ever. Get exactly what you want in your phone plan and only pay for what you need. Bring your phones to your Verizon store today and get My Plan. These deals won't last. It's your Verizon.
With FedEx One Rate, you can ship to your student for a simple, predictable flat rate. Send a box full of home-baked treats that say, "Your father and I miss you." Or send a box full of instant noodles that says, "Your father and I would like you to stop asking us for money." Either way, one rate fits all. FedEx One Rate. 2-day shipping, one flat rate. Starting at $14.50. Visit FedEx.com/OneRate for details. Exclusions apply.
All right, so we got a great guest here. Number 1 pick, 4th overall, Will Campbell. Will, welcome to the Patriots. I know you've been through the car wash, so I know it's been a long day, so we're not going to keep you too long, but we appreciate you stopping in.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm super excited to be here. It's an honor to, represent this organization, and I just can't wait for the future.
So it's Mike, it's Evan, it's Paul, I'm Fred.
Yes,
we're in-house, so you're safe here. Don't worry about it.
This is a safe space.
Yeah.
No doubt.
You were, we have what we call BTT guys.
Okay.
Would you happen to know what that is?
I don't.
That's a bang the table guy. So when we were banging the table for Will Campbell before the draft.
Well, I'd like to hear that.
Yeah,
I'd like to hear
we,
that.
we were all sold on you being our left tackle, so we're excited about that. So guys, jump in.
I mean, I got to jump in. Well, we watched you last night right after you were selected. We watched you walk to the stage, and you were interviewed briefly, and you got emotional. I think we felt the emotion there for you. I mean, just now you have a little bit of time away from that. What was last night like for you? What a whirlwind it all was.
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing. I put a lot of work into last night, and for me to be able to hear my name and hear my name called early, and be able to represent this organization, with the history that's behind this place, the championships, be able to play for Coach Vrabel. It's everything I could have asked for to be in this best position possible, and I'm just super excited. to get to work, meet my new teammates, meet all of them, you know, build that relationship with not only them but the coaches, and just get back to playing ball.
So I'm trying to wrap my head around Will Campbell. How do you describe your play style? I'm violent, nasty, you know, you're a really physical player, and this calm, measured, you know, sort of way that you answer the questions, and you're really thoughtful and just even-keeled. How do you mix those two things on and off the field? It seems like your personalities are very different.
You didn't see that switch under his armpit?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's something my dad always talked about. You got to be able to flip the switch, be the cool, calm, collected guy off the field, but whenever it's time to go, they need to see a different you, and that's just what I try to do. I try to be the guy, you know, that's just a normal dude off the field. I'm just like everybody else. I want to, you know, be able to interact with people. I want people to, you know that I'm personable. I can really conversate with whoever it might be, and but on the field, you know, it's time to go, and that's just kind of the mentality.
I'm gonna try that, Freddie. I'm always landing Raven.
Paul goes from 0 to hot.
0 to hot like that. Yeah.
We've heard the story now a million times about you putting Rabel on his butt during the workout, which I love. But I remember watching your tape against Texas A&M, and you took Nick Scorton and you torqued him right out of the gap. He's 260 pounds, right? So when I heard that story about Rabel, I thought of that block. But is there any other blocks that stand out to you in your career at LSU that are some of your favorites, or highlight reels, or anything like that?
I mean, I feel like I had a couple good ones. I don't really remember, you know, each of them specifically.
Yes, you do.
Not enough, you know. But LSU was everything I could have ever asked for. You know, in a university, I try to represent it in the best way possible. And I'm just super thankful for everything that they did for me and my family. You know, my 3 years there, and you know, even though I'm a long way from Louisiana, I'm gonna still represent the right way.
Yeah. Forget about football for a second. I want to talk about the sporting goods store that you've been in your family for a long time. How cool was that growing up? But like, you just walk in and say, "I need a new baseball glove," and you know, because my father owned a hardware store, so all I could get was paint. You know, so.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, whenever I would go in, and I'd be like, "Mom, I need new shoes," she'd be like, "That's not how it works. That's how it's working today. I need new ones." And she would usually take care of me. But yeah, it was definitely pretty cool. My grandpa started that. I think he had probably about 7 or 8 stores. Now it's down to 1 right down the street from my high school, probably about 3 or 4 minute drive from my house. My mom, you know, a few other people have been working there for a long time. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is. I think that would just be cool. And you get a lot of friends too. Hey, well, can you help me out?
Yeah. All the drama goes on in there.
Yeah.
You hear everything in there.
Yeah.
The high school stuff. I wanted to ask you about Andrew Whitworth. I think he went to the same high school.
No, we went to rival high schools.
Okay, rival high schools. But he was someone you really looked up to, you know, being from your area.
Yeah, no doubt. I think, you know, whenever you're a young, aspiring offensive lineman and, you know, you want to be the best, you look at guys like him and Cam Robinson. Even though they went to the rival high school that I don't really care for too much, I'd probably say some vulgar words about him if we weren't on air.
It's all right.
But, yeah, I mean, they did it the right way. They went about their business from a young age in high school to college, even though Cam went to Alabama. But, you know, whenever you look at guys like that, they've been successful at every level that they played at. They've also been great in the community. And that's something that I wanted to do. So I really looked up to both of those guys.
Will, you were asked about working with Duke Manyweather this offseason. Everybody that doesn't know is a very well-known offensive line guru, trainer. Just what have you guys been working on to get ready for your rookie season?
Yeah, I mean, really just everything. You know, he's the best. I think, you know, this past season, he had 8 or 9 Pro Bowlers that, you know, he trained specifically. So that's something that I want to be a part of. Any way that, you know, he can critique my game and help me put the best product on the field is something that I'm interested in every offseason. So I really enjoyed the time that I've spent with him so far. He's taught me a lot, just, you know, expanding my game in every aspect, and it's something I continue to look forward to.
I have a quick question for you, you know, kind of off the beaten path. We live here in New England. We have Boston College, but we don't really have what you guys have in terms of college football. You're in the SEC, which is the NFL of college football. What's the best venue besides LSU? What's the best venue if I wanted to see if I could go down and take a trip to watch a major college football game, which I've never really done? What would you recommend?
Really, honestly, you know, every venue in the SEC except maybe 2 or 3 or
Okay, Vanderbilt's out.
I'm not gonna say any names, but I mean, like, I played at some really cool places. The most underrated one, I feel like, in my opinion, was Auburn at Jordan Hare.
Yeah,
that's a pretty electric environment. Florida has a great environment. Texas A&M. I never played at Tennessee, but I kind of figured that Tennessee's probably number 2 right behind us, and then Kyle Field, and then probably Bryant Denny.
Cool.
So really anywhere.
A lot to choose from.
Yeah.
And now, great moments in history.
Luke's in North Attleboro. What's up, Luke? Luke.
Hello?
Yep, you just called. Come on.
Hey.
Yep.
Do you think some things are better left to chance? Like,
Well, it depends on what you're talking
I'd
about.
rather not stare at a replay for like 30 minutes during a game and maybe just move on and let it be up to chance instead of everything being right down to the nitty gritty of, you know what I mean?
What would, no.
So
rather not
so
leave what to
You
chance?
started. Are some things
better left
to chance? Is that what you're saying?
Right. Like during football.
Well, not like sexually transmitted diseases. You don't want to
God.
leave that to chance.
I got pink eye right now. So.
Well, there you go. See, you left that to chance, and now you can't see.
How did Fred know?
That's another great moment from
All right, back here on Patriots Unfiltered. 855-PATS-500 is the hotline. What is it? Podcast at Patriots.com is the podcast at Patriots.com. If you want to subscribe to the newsletter, you go to Patriots.com/PU newsletter, and that's how you subscribe to that. Anything you want to preview, or you want to leave it to chance?
There will be a line of questioning related to Tuesday's very morbid section of the show.
About what happens after you die?
Yeah,
It doesn't have to be morbid.
You got really deep.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be morbid.
My desires aren't morbid.
Yeah, if you think that your life hereafter is even better, then
I want to. I want to sit back and be entertained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have some hope.
We'll have a little bit of that. And then I was thinking maybe on Tuesday's show, we reserve a little portion for Guess That Listener.
Okay.
Oh,
nice.
I organized all the photos, pulled them all together, and I was thinking we could do it in a YouTube short, but the format might be better just on the show.
So our last open show before training camp. So that'll be
I have
good.
a feeling I'm not going to do well in that.
Back to your thing, Paul, about reviewing your life after you. Albert Brooks made a really, really funny movie about that, where he dies and he's forced to review his life. He's like in front of a board that's deciding if he can go to heaven. So they make him look back on his life. And I think I forget how it went, but he gets
I don't want that.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I want to stick to the
It's
good
really
stuff.
funny. I forget the name of the movie, but it's Albert Brooks. I remember laughing out loud several times at that movie.
You're going to get about 10 emails now.
Oh, yeah.
Fred, the movie you were thinking of is...
That's fine. That's why I say it.
I want people to write in that have had
Defending your life.
I want someone to be like, oh, I had a near-death experience, or like I died for 5 minutes and they brought me back, and this is what if you've experienced that, write in.
Well, all these these ones where I died and I got revived, but while I was in the I had all these things
Mhm.
which proved to me that there's an afterlife. I'm not buying that, because I think their brain hadn't totally shut off and there's stuff going on.
Maybe.
And-
Have you ever talked to a hospice nurse about it?
No.
There's a lot of interesting patterns that are almost always the same end of life care or in those circumstances. And I think a hospice nurse was on like a podcast circuit or wrote some book about it recently, because it came up, but pretty relevant to this. But it was interesting stuff.
This is why the question was Fred or Paul on Jeopardy, because if Alex was included, it really wouldn't have been much of a choice.
Right. Right.
Like
She's-
Alex would have been the choice to go on Jeopardy.
That's right.
I think I'd do good for like the 100 level questions, and then
so
it would get spotty
Interesting
after
that you say. I tell
but
you,
I'd crush the sports sections.
Oh.
But they suck at those.
Yeah, you would easily run the table on that category, because usually the other two people don't know anything
Nerds.
about sports. But being an avid Jeopardy guy, as I tell you that, It's one of my favorite
I
things.
know.
Right?
You're 80. Yep.
I have definitely found that I don't do as well as I used to, and it started with that James Holzhauer when he.
Have you tried Prevagen?
When he started to dominate, he was the one I think that sort of initiated the go from the bottom up, because it's always it's the search for the daily doubles, and he starts at the bottom. When I work my way into the category from the top, because I get almost all of the ones at the top, and then I sort of get an idea of how the category works.
Right.
Because the easy one is at the top, and I can go down, and I would do better.
Right.
But I'm like Alex. I get all the 1 in 200 ones, and
isn't that half the battle is figuring out how each one works?
The structure of it, yeah.
There's a quirk, and then I definitely do not do well in specific categories. Like before and afters, I cannot do.
Yeah.
Do you ever watch Jeopardy?
I don't. I've watched it, obviously, but I'm not a watcher like you are.
It'd be like the Alex Francisco 49ers. Like I just never do well on those. Like there's like two parts to the thing, and I always know what the answers are. That would be the example of I get more right when I'm home, because I say to Beth, and I'll be like, "That's what I meant."
Yeah,
She's
you
like,
can't
"No,
do that on the show. You don't get credit for that.
I wouldn't get credit for it.
Yeah.
Also, the buzzer. Yeah. You gotta practice buzzing.
But if they went from the top to down to the easy ones to the hard ones, I would do better. But no one does that anymore. They all start at the bottom and work their way through. They start in the middle trying to get the daily doubles, and then they go down, and then the easy ones are usually the last ones off the board.
Yeah.
I would start with like the 200s.
Yeah.
Hit a 200, wade into the 400s, see where I fall. Go by feel.
And then the sports categories, I would just
clean
would,
up.
That would be dominant.
Clean up.
Well, like Billboard top 100 hits, like the Billboard number one hits, and like bang, bang, bang.
You crushed that.
Taylor Swift.
Well, I saw one. I love it when they have these brainiacs on there and they do ask sports and like nobody knows anything. There was one. How many points do you get for a safety in football? And nobody got it.
No way.
No, I think two of them got it wrong and the other one didn't guess.
Right.
That's funny. Oh,
It was 1, 3, and no one guessed
Right.
2.
And we think, but like if you don't follow football, like
Yeah.
what the hell is a safety?
Those people are so smart. They're like above it. They're
Yeah.
above football.
Oh, yeah. Kevin in South Carolina writes in, my freshman year roommate at UMass was on House Hunters. I'm sorry. He confirms exactly the process you described. The best part of his tours was his South Shore accent and his sisters talking about potties and hardwood floors. We put a sign in our dorm room in 2004 that said Socks and 7 after Poppy put one over the wall after midnight. Not exactly a sign on Beacon Street, but we left it up all year. Love the show. Alex has the best passive TV taste. Go outside and jump in a pool. It's summer. Okay.
That's how I feel. It's too nice out to be watching TV.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you guys get FOMO in the summer? Or not? It's not really FOMO, but it's like you have this urge to want to be outside at all times to take advantage of it or be doing something outside because you only have like 2-3 months.
Absolutely.
I get stressed out on like a nice evening night where I'm like, well, like let's go out to eat at a restaurant and sit out on the patio, or like let's go hang out at my mom's pool, or like I always have to be doing something outside.
Definitely.
Yeah, take advantage of it. Absolutely.
Yeah, and with camp starting next week, like, one of my friends, like during the show, he actually just texted me. He's like, I just had a guy drop out. Any interest in playing 9 tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like trying to figure out, and I'm like, yeah, it's going to be late enough. Yeah, I said, yeah, count me in.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
because that's the kind of thing, like,
Yep.
once camp starts next week, that's the FOMO. Like, you won't be able to do as much for at least a few weeks. Right? What do we got? A couple of weeks of public practices?
Yeah, 12
two and a half
total.
weeks. Yeah.
12 total.
So it'll be a while.
The dates are available on Patriots.com.
Yes.
Sure.
Yep. Let's go back to the phones. We'll go to OH in Houston.
Hi-O.
What's up, OH?
Hey, what's up, Brad?
Hey.
Paul, Alex.
Hi.
Hey, I just want to say you guys are doing a great job this offseason. And then I have 2 questions, one PU question and then one football-related question. My PU question is, whatever happened with Mike from Florida, the one we used to go on long tangents?
Mike in stinky Florida?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah. We've lost a lot of
I don't even know Mike from
Yeah,
Florida.
You would get into long tangents and it would be a little cringe most of the time. But I was just wondering, if he's okay. My football-related question was that who do you think we're taking on the roster when it comes to tight ends and fullback? And you think it's going to make an impact with as far as protection for Drake May and the run game? I'll take it offline, guys.
Okay. Tight end and fullback. I mean, they may not have a fullback.
Yeah, I mean, I think most people feel like they're going to keep that kid. I say that kid because I don't remember his name. The
Yeah.
fullback. Labby? I don't know, something like that. But the tight ends, well, I mean, Henry and Hooper, I'd be surprised if they weren't, the biggest parts of that. But maybe Jack Westover has a shot to be an extra tight end. I mean, Jaheim Bell's still here.
Yeah.
These are kinds of things that you sort of sift through as the camp practices start, and you start to see who the guys are that are filtering in. And Jack Westover is the guy who filtered in a lot during the spring.
Yeah.
Hooper missed some time with various ailments. So, yeah, I mean, there'll be three, I would
There's
think.
like a relationship there, too. I think their lockers were near each other. And
Josh
he's
definitely
been
likes
here.
a fullback, so I wouldn't rule out the possibility. Why can I not think of the guy's name?
It was Latin,
I thought it was Lobby, Labbe, but I might be wrong.
Brett, while you're looking that up, Brett in Leominster writes in, he said, Coldplay is the Christian from L.A. of rock bands. Ooh, wow.
It doesn't sound like a
Wow, I'd rather smell Chris Martin's ex-wife's candles than listen to their music, or Christian from L.A. Wow.
Hey, music
Somebody
is
doesn't like
subjective.
Coldplay. I wanted to send this in when Evan was there, but I'll probably forget by then. On 2 different shows last week, he used the expression bigger than his britches, except both times he said bigger than his bridges. I'm thinking he thinks of a monster truck on a small bridge. This email is a little longer than my typical ones. Can you forward this to Alex for consideration of best email of the week? No, doesn't hit it. The expression is too big for his britches.
Right.
That's the proper expression.
Correct.
Britches meaning your pants.
Pants. I kind of like that we
What'd
each
you
have
say there,
a
fussy
common
britches?
expression that we slightly used the wrong word for. It's like it creates a new life.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Andy Hart was great at that. For all intents and purposes. You ever hear that phrase?
Yep.
Intents and purposes?
Intensive purposes.
Intensive purposes,
Yeah.
he used to say.
Yeah. And then he would make up names. Well, it's hingent.
Hingent
was one of his made-up
He
words.
still uses that on the air all the time.
Hingent on.
Yeah. Rick in Louisville, with the Jaws turning 50, I wanted Paul to share his favorite Matt Hooper line.
Favorite Matt Hooper line? How about let it go, Quint? Let it go, Quint. It's not a shark.
A listener tagged me in a TikTok
Might
that they
be a
wanted
stingray.
me to show you guys just about the history of the Jaws movie poster, and it's apparently not a great white shark on the poster.
What is it, a mako? Or
I forget.
I did watch the documentary.
But it's
Yeah.
not a great white.
I watched the documentary,
Shout out
and they
to that
talked about
listener.
that poster a lot, and they didn't seem to say that. Not calling anybody out here, because I don't know. But
Short fin mako shark.
There you go.
short fin mako shark.
There you go. See? I know my sharks. Brandon in Maine.
Brandon.
We'll never stop talking about uniforms. I agree a change is needed. So-called blueberry uniforms are terrible. The fix is really not complicated. Blue jersey, white jersey, red jersey, the 90s blues, or the dynasty blues, all are fine. What we need to do is get rid of the color rush crap where the jersey and pants are the same color. That's the starter. However, the biggest change should be the helmet. Just make it white. A white helmet with the Flying Elvis is a thing of beauty. I agree with that. I've always wanted to see that.
I would like to see a white helmet with that logo as well.
I've
the rest
seen-
of it, I don't care about.
I've seen
That's
concept
for you
art
guys.
posted on Twitter X show what this would look like, and it's absolute fire. White helmet with any of the blue or red jerseys, with white pants, and it doesn't get any better. Make it happen, Fred.
The fullback
like
is
it.
Brock Lampy.
Lampy.
That was close. Labbe, Lampy. Close
Okay.
enough.
All right.
The amount of consternation that uniforms create
Oh.
will never cease to amaze me.
People have very, very strong opinions on apparel.
Like, I personally think that the Drew Bledsoe, 90s era Patriots uniforms are among the ugliest things I've ever seen.
They're so cool.
But who cares?
A lot of 90s fashion was actually
Yeah, it was
really
bad.
ugly, but so cool that it's not ugly.
And I don't know. I don't know how people lose sleep worrying about what they were going to wear. For
They
the
worry
games.
about those uniforms. Oh, it's like they have to wear them,
But if the team had played well in them,
right,
it wouldn't be a topic.
See, I didn't particularly like the uniforms that they won all those Super Bowls in. But again, who cares?
The people.
I don't know.
Aaron from Bonnie Doon writes in, after listening to Tuesday's show and Mike's story of ashes, reminded me of something my dad told me. He was in the Navy for 30 years and at sea for 20. Apparently, one of the common duties was to throw people's ashes overboard, and he wants the same, but has a very specific time and place he wants it done on. When I asked why, he said because at that area, at that time of day, there's a consistent wind that comes in and blows the ashes back into the faces of people on deck. Apparently, a lot of the old sailors request the exact same thing, like some kind of traditional final hazing ritual. Also, with the talk about souls and consciousness after death, there are some theories and research about whether or not consciousness is a part of the quantum realm, and that once the physical vessel is gone, that information would most likely still be present and functioning in the same capacity as it did before, thus you'd still be around after death. The whole quantum world is absolutely nuts and sci-fi magic that no one understands, so who knows?
There's a crazy rabbit hole that you can go down where quantum physics meets Christianity, and it's a wild ride.
Well, there's a good...
Very fascinating.
category.
It is very fascinating.
There's a good book by Neil Stephenson called John Dodge in Hell. Fall. It's got 2 names, and it's all about this guy who dies, and he's rich. And back then, in the future, they have this technology where they can digitize your brain before you die, so that when you die, you come back to life in this digital world, and the world you create the world from the memories that you had from your religion and all this stuff. And so, the book is in two sections: the real world and then his digital world. I found it fascinating. I really liked it.
That's cool.
It's by Neil Stephenson.
Like Orwellian a little bit.
I'm into all the biblical stuff, and so much of his digital world, you could see the biblical stories that he learned as a kid, that if he was creating his world from scratch, came into play.
That's cool.
So,
see, I'm just superficial. I'm like you. I want to go back and swing at that pitch that you didn't
well,
swing.
right. Give me a second chance at everything that I did wrong.
Yeah. Let me
But
handle
the
that
butterfly
encounter with
effect,
that girl a little bit
everything
differently
would have ended
this
up
time.
differently.
Yeah.
You failed at that, hitting that ball,
Yeah.
so that you could do whatever you would.
Yeah, heaven would be do-over heaven. It's all about do-overs.
Fred, what was the name of that book?
It's called. There's 2 names. It's Fall It's by Neil Stephenson.
Or Dodge in Hell.
Or Dodge in Hell. Yeah. It's. I would recommend it to anyone. I found it fascinating.
Neil Stephenson. What
Yeah,
did
I
from
read all
him?
his stuff. His last book sucked. Yeah, it's all about
highly recommended. His last book.
It's
sucked.
all about climate engineering and all this stuff. I thought it was stupid. Let's see. Who is this? Robert writes in, on Tuesday's show, you were talking about your first experience watching Jaws.
Oh, he wrote Snow Crash.
He did.
Yeah, I read that.
His
That was
first
good.
book was Cryptonomicon,
Mm.
which got him on everybody's radar.
What number did he wear in the 70s? Come on.
Neil Stephenson?
Let's participate so everybody can play.
Talking sci-fi books, okay?
So in 75, I was 6 years old, and my memory is a bit fuzzy. What I do remember is my older brother wanting to sit in the front row. This, of course, meant I had to sit in the front row. When the head popped out of the boat, this is exactly what I said. When the head popped out of the boat, I ran back to where my mother was sitting and watched the rest of the movie with her hand over my eyes. No worries. Therapy wasn't necessary, as Jaws remains my top 10 of all-time movies. My brother, however, made claims that I peed my pants. Fake news. Now a football-related question. Of all the free agent additions, who are you most worried might be a bust?
Most worried.
Milton Williams.
To be a bust.
Because he hasn't played full time.
That's a good pick, Fred, because you can't just say, like, well, Mac Hollins is going to be a bust. Well, okay. Well, he's like, fourth or fifth receiver, special teams guy. That's not. But they invested a lot into Milton Williams.
To be something he hasn't
something
been
that
yet.
he has yet to be.
Right.
So that would be, if he turned out to be a bust, that would be.
Yeah, I would be pissed.
I think you might have the answer.
Yeah.
But I'll just for.
Diggs 1B.
I'm going to go with Will Campbell.
Okay.
If he's a bust, that's
but he's
really
not a free agent.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
When hosts aren't listening.
An addition, but not a free agency addition.
Correct.
Travis and Adams writes in, always enjoyed the show as a 25-year veteran of the VFX industry. That's visual effects for you, not in the Hollywood business. I couldn't resist jumping in when you brought up special effects in Jaws and how they might not feel as convincing if done today with today's VFX. It's a close topic to my heart. VFX often gets a bad rap, and while I completely understand why, there's a lot of work out there that looks obviously artificial. Usually comes down to one thing, money. Studios either try to cut costs and do it on the cheap, or they go the opposite direction and spend so much on a creature or effect that they insist it becomes the centerpiece of the shot. More often than not, these choices can make it harder for VFX to shine. The thing is, VFX is just a tool, and when it's used properly, it can be completely invisible to the naked eye. Just figured I'd throw my 2 cents in. Yeah, I can see that.
I think it's like anything else. There's good and bad.
I wonder how AI will change the graphic production.
AI, yeah.
Oh, speaking of.
Your
shows.
The
report.
Yeah, wow.
About Drake May.
Yeah. Unfortunate, evidently. I was learning a little bit about that because I didn't know that it had been talked about on the air like that. But yeah.
I think they talked about it this morning.
Remember when we used to do the show on WLVI, Channel 56?
Yeah.
Mike Rattay?
Stinger.
Yes.
Yes.
Remember that show?
Yeah.
So I was out to eat during vacation. Beth and I went, and it made me think of it when Alex was talking about like the FOMO, like, oh, it's a beautiful night, let's go out on a deck. Well, we were out on a deck, beautiful night right on the water in Beverly, and one of the LVI producers came up. His name was George, and I didn't recognize him when I saw him. He was like sitting right behind us, but when they were done eating, he came over and introduced himself.
Yeah.
And I did remember him as he started talking, and it was one of the producers on those shows. And it was definitely Sot Stinger, that kind of time. And he's like, "How's Fred doing? Is Fred still?" And I was like, "Yeah." It's like he's still
alive?
Still my boss. Well, he wanted to know if he was still there
on Earth.
And it was just reminding me of that with all the stuff you just said. With like I said, Alex talking about FOMO, because that was exactly what we did. We're on vacation. It's a beautiful night. Let's go outside and eat somewhere.
Yeah.
And then that guy comes up and says hello.
Yeah, we used to do that was like
20 years ago.
PFW in progress back then, but we did the TV show at Channel 56. People in Boston well aware of what that station is.
It's CW now.
Yeah, it's the CW, and we did it in their studios, and Mike Rattay, who was their sports guy, was the host, and Mike Wonkum.
Mike Wonkum was the weather guy.
Was the weather guy
Channel
back
5
then.
weather
At
guy.
Channel 5, he'd come over and give us the.
He was great.
Yeah, the weather, what he thought it would be for the game, and Rattay would host the show, and he'd have like the yellow challenge, not the challenge flag, but the penalty.
When we argued, he'd throw a flag.
He'd throw a flag.
Okay. He'd blow the whistle and throw a flag. It was usually me and Brian.
And one time he was teaching us terms that they use in TV, like Sot and Stinger, and in the middle of the show, I just yelled out Sot Stinger, and like he froze, like what are you doing? You can't say that.
Like Sod is sound on tape.
Yes.
Right.
You know, so
I took Broadcasting 100.
So out of nowhere, Fred just yells Sot Stinger.
And he didn't know what to do. Like he froze in the middle of the show. It was funny. Those were good times.
Good times.
We had to drive up.
Those are the salad days. Yeah, we had to drive all the way to
all the way
Dorchester. That was a long.
Well,
ride.
it was right next to the Globe. their studios.
Yeah, that's where
Right on Morrissey?
the hub has since moved. Yes, Morrissey Boulevard.
Yep. Yep.
It's right next to where the old sports hub was. They've moved since
They've
then.
moved. Yeah, things have changed, Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen it all.
It's good though because that was a tough ride.
It was.
The Waltham Studios now it's
easy.
Nothing.
Yeah. Sean's in Vancouver. What's up, Sean?
Hey, Fred, I got a few things. Alex, I completely agree with you about reality shows. I feel the same way, except I have one extra caveat. As an actor, I always need there to be more scripted productions. So that's another reason I don't watch that stuff. Hey, back to when they were asking about Robin Williams versus Tom Hanks. To me, Tom Hanks is the most reliable actor, but Robin Williams was absolutely the best improviser of all times. And, you know, as a director, you have to try and figure out how we're going to reel it in, how we're going to get the world according to Garp performance where there's no improv, or we're going to go completely the other way with Mrs. Doubtfire. So it was like a delicate balance, and you can land up with The Survivors where you don't have a script and you're just relying on his improv and it doesn't work. Now, with the the guarantee thing, like which team do we guarantee? To me, it would be the Browns because in terms of right now where the odds are, they're at 5.5 favorites to beat the Browns at home. And it's like middle of the season, they don't have a quarterback. So that's the one I would guarantee at this point if I had to put a gun in my head. But in terms of Alex, if it's a wish for a guarantee, to me it'd be the Ravens because that's the most unlikely one in Baltimore. And also, just to point out, they will be at Tennessee, Paul. So that brings it down a tiny bit.
Okay, then I would stick with New Orleans then because I think New Orleans is worse than Tennessee.
No, that's another one of the six, for sure. Now, I like the Sean's point, like we need to draft our Terry McLaurin, and I know we haven't drafted first or second day wide receivers since Stanley Morgan in 1977, but I'm hoping
or last year.
Be that guy. Well, last year, no, I don't think we did either. Hopefully, maybe, but I don't think that's working
Jalen
out.
Polk was a second-round pick.
Yeah.
That's day 2.
But I'm saying, like, which one really hit, like, worked out completely, Like,
hit, you go back to Deion Branch.
Well, Deion Branch, they traded, so not completely. Like, maybe if he stayed the whole time instead of being traded to Seattle, that would be it. But to me, it's like the one 100%.
There's a lot of caveats
That
here.
won an MVP.
Yeah.
That's a hit.
He was great, but I mean completely. But
the fact they didn't stick with him doesn't mean he wasn't a good
pick. It's not my
pick.
fault that Belichick didn't pay him.
Right.
No, and a lot of injuries are not fault of guys too with Malcolm Mitchell. So you never know, but I'd love it to completely work out with Kyle Williams, and he was a third-round pick, as was Terry McLaurin. So there's that. Now with Jaws, I saw that in the theater when it came out in Algonquin, Maine, with my family, and the next day we went into the water. So we loved it as a movie, but we didn't take it seriously. So
it didn't affect you.
I didn't.
Thanks, Sean. A lot of people, it did. Like
I
they were
told
like,
you,
"That's it, I'm done."
We were down the Cape
Yeah.
on vacation, and I did not go in the ocean the rest of the trip.
And that was
I stuck
before
to the pool.
oceans on the Cape are like
Right.
they are now.
Shark infested.
Oh yeah, everybody laughed
Like
about
I
it.
don't
Oh,
swim
there's-
on the
there's
ocean
never
side
any-
anymore. I'm strictly on the bay side.
Plus, it's warmer.
Yeah.
Well, no.
The inside?
Bayside is warmer.
It's
than
way
oceans?
warmer.
Is
It's
it?
way warmer.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like the seashore is cold.
Yeah.
Right, the national seashore.
I don't know about
Like,
that. No,
you
no.
get
I
better.
think,
You get
I
better
think
waves.
You're wrong. I think you get the Gulf of Mexico stream on the south side on the Cape. On the Bay side, you don't get any of that.
I'll defer to you guys because you're
I
much
just
more
think it's-
experienced down there. But I thought it was the other way
From my
around.
experience, and my experience is Lower Cape, Outer Cape, really Churro and Wellfleet. So Great Hollow Beach and Churro, super, super warm. Whereas you go to like Head of the Meadow.
Yeah.
Or like Marconi or
basically
something.
facing England.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Much
Cold.
colder and rockier. Whereas the Bayside, really sandy.
Okay.
That's
long
what I always
flats
thought.
during
But
low
like I
tide.
said, you guys have much more experience down there than I do, so I'll defer.
That's how I feel. Maybe it's different, more Upper Cape, but in the Lower Cape, that's how I see it. Provincetown Harbor too. Like if you're right on the tip on Long Point,
never been in
we'll
the
take
water
the boat out there,
out
and then
there.
at low tide, it creates like a new beach. It's so warm. It's like the best.
Jeff in Canada was looking at last year, and we all know we lost 13 games. 7 were blowouts, which were losses by 2+ scores. 6 were 1-score games. If we're really serious about contending for a playoff spot, we need to flip the script and win more of those close games. If you can only pick 2 of the 5 hypothetical improvements below that were all problems last year that might make it possible to win 10 games this season, which 2 would you pick? There's 5 of them. You have to pick 2. A, less sacks allowed. B, better game management in the last 2 minutes of the second and fourth quarters. C, better run defense. D, less fumbles. Or E, a single pass catcher with at least 80 catches. So you have to pick 2 to get you to 10 wins.
E is 1.
Single pass catcher with at least 80 catches.
Yeah. I'd probably say, I don't know. Like, I would probably just go with the fumbles just because turnovers kill you.
Was sacks a problem last year? Like, number of sacks?
Is that a trick question?
Well, I mean, but were a lot of sacks because he's running around and, the play?
No, their offensive line was ranked last.
Swiss cheese.
It's
Okay,
like 31 run blocking, 32 pass blocking, or the other way around.
All right, so I'll take
like
A. I'll take A and E then. Less sacks allowed and single pass catcher with 80 catches.
Okay, yeah. I'll go with those 2. You talked me out of my other one.
Give Drake more time, and that helps improve everything.
The whole offense improves with that.
Yeah. Okay. Good question, I guess. Bill in San Diego. Paul, you said you guys work for Channel 56. I'm from Maine, and I loved that station as a kid. In Auburn, cable equaled channels 56 and 38 from Boston, a
true.
French station, and the standard ABC, NBC, CBS, and PBS. Whatever happened to those Boston channels? As a kid in the 70s and 80s, there were none better. Well, that's all we had, like he said.
56 and 38, yeah, that was the version of cable.
38's still there.
So is 56. It's CW in whatever they call 38.
My
Is it UPN?
38. It's
something like that.
Yeah.
Is it My 38?
I think it's called My 38.
I don't know.
Something like that.
But they're not the same. Like, they used to be, what he's talking about is, it was local Boston generated programming, and then like a lot of reruns of old sitcoms.
One Tree Hill.
One Tree Hill was probably on.
It was on CW. I don't know about
when it was a network, but like when I was growing up, you get like on Channel 56, you get Gilligan's Island, Brady Bunch,
right?
Stuff like that. 38 would always have MASH,
Three Stooges
marathons, The Odd Couple, Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah.
And the Honeymooners.
Dana Hersey.
Yeah, the Movie Loft.
The Movie Loft.
They
And
would
then
show the Deer Hunter.
Ask the Manager. Remember that show?
I do remember it, but I didn't watch that.
It got high ratings at the time.
What would that be?
No, back then, Ask the Manager on 38 was one of their most popular shows.
But they went to like national networks, and it was like WB, I think, was the original 56.
Yeah.
And I think it was like I thought it was like UPN or something for 38. And they had like 56 had like original programming that was not like, I want to say like Dawson's Creek may have been on 56.
Do you remember 27 out of Worcester?
Channel 27, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to watch wrestling on that all the time.
Yeah.
WWF at the time.
Okay.
It's before they changed it to E.
You think about like how caveman we were back then. You had the 2 dials. One was VHF, one was UHF, and then, you'd have that rim around the dial where you could tune it in to make the picture better.
That's when 25 first came in, too.
Yeah.
Like you started to get the local 25. That's now Fox. Like, it was just channel 25 on your
old.
old.
When the TVs had antennas.
Oh, yeah. They had the rabbit ears.
Yep.
But then cable came in, and you had like, in our house, I don't know what kind of box. Like, it was a brown, like, rectangular box.
Yep.
With a long wire that was attached from the box, attached to the TV, but you could move it to where you were. So literally you would stand there with your fingers on the buttons like this and go.
Right.
And just like, there was like 15 buttons across. You'd switch like the band, it'd be like AM, FM. And you'd switch to like whatever tier you wanted to be on.
The original remotes were wired. So there was a long wire from your TV to the remote.
They should bring that back. You'd never
I never
lose
had
the
a
clicker.
remote that was wired like that. The actual box itself was wired, but then the remotes came in and it was like, oh wow, we don't need to
change Paul's life.
We don't need to be
I
connected.
don't have to get up. Oh.
I could just have my Diet Pepsi in peace.
Pepsi in one hand.
Yeah, I don't
remote
have
in
to
the other.
disconnect my IV. Mike writes in Belichick versus Kraft versus Brady. At one time, Paul said on the Brady versus Belichick comparison, he would give a slight edge to Brady for the Patriots' success. I agree with Paul 100%. What do you think the ratio would be now? I think based on the post-Brady era, you'd have to give TB12 the vast majority of the credit. I think,
now I'm going to agree with you.
Yeah, I think so.
I've changed my tune on that one.
Yeah, I'm pretty much done with the Brady versus Belichick book by Gary Myers, and he agrees.
But you still haven't really found much.
Well, he gives up the he says what he thinks it's going to be before the book ends, and then the last part of the book is alternate universe stuff.
Oh,
you know,
is it better?
No,
because I know you were kind of lukewarm.
I haven't
on
finished yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would agree. I was always like sort of a 50-50-ish, maybe a slight edge to Brady kind of guy. But since Brady left, I've recognized the errors of my ways. Brady had more to do with that than I gave him credit for.
I don't know if we've played this one before. This is Brett, Kyle, and Pembroke. Who will have a better season? Ramondre Stevenson or Nick Chubb?
Stevenson.
Demario Douglas or Booty?
Douglas.
Drake May or Bo Nix?
I'm going to go Drake May.
Drake May.
Gonzo or Sauce Gardner?
Gonzo.
That's the same. They're both excellent.
Kyle Williams or Polk?
Gonzo, just to say Homer. Kyle Williams or Polk? Kyle Williams.
Mac Jones, 49ers backup, or Bailey Zappi, Chiefs backup?
Zappy.
Well, let's do this one again. Who do you think will play more, Mac Jones or Bailey Zappi?
I don't think either one of them has any better odds of playing
Well,
more than
I'm
the
thinking
other.
injury.
Yeah, like both of the guys have been pretty durable. I don't think
Purdy goes down. Like, he misses time within games. You know, like where Mac Jones got in quite a bit, right? Last year? Didn't he?
played in Jacksonville.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Purdy.
Doesn't he get hurt and he has to sit out of?
Well, he got hurt in the NFC Championship game and he had to leave the game. But I don't know how many games he's missed over the years. He's probably missed some. He's probably missed more games than Mahomes. Sure.
Okay.
But Zappy's still better, so I'm going with Zappy.
All right. You think Zappy's better than Mac
Yes.
Jones? Wow.
I think they both stink, but
wow.
I'll take the guy who has a better attitude.
First round pick. Boston Cream's on the line. What's up, Boston Cream?
Hey guys, that last trivia kind of stepped on my toes here, but if you'd like more trivia, I can go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, as career Patriots, who had more passing yards, Doug Flutie or Bailey Zappi?
Who has more passing yards, Doug Flutie or Bailey Zappi?
Zappy.
Correct.
That's kind of a, like, why would you do that if it wasn't true? Because
Right.
you obviously think, well, Doug Flutie must have but yeah.
Why would you think that Doug Flutie must have more?
Because didn't he play more than Zappi?
For the Patriots?
Did he just say Patriots?
Yeah.
Okay. Even then, didn't he play more than Zappi?
I don't know. If only there was a way we could look that up.
Yeah. Anyway.
I get what you're saying, though. You're like psychoanalyzing the questioning.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
He dismisses the importance of getting it correct when you get it correct.
Keep going.
More interceptions of the Patriots, Steve Brogan, Tom Brady.
More what?
Interceptions. See, my gut says Grogan, but because of longevity.
I'm going to say Grogan, but I understand how many more passes Brady threw than Grogan. But
Right.
I'm still going to say Grogan.
I'm going to say Brady.
Steve Grogan.
Oh, okay.
No one threw interceptions.
I'm going to switch it up here because these are kind of leading you guys. One player has multiple safeties in Patriots history. Can you name that player?
One player has multiple safeties in Patriots
Like he
history.
caused them? Or
Ty Warren.
Don Blackman.
Donnie
Don
Blackman.
Blackman. Sure.
That's a good trivia question.
Sure.
I like that one.
Okay, two left here. I know we're running out of time. There are 2,144 players since the merger who have 15-plus career NFL carries. This Patriots player ranks first in all in rushing touchdowns per carry.
Oh, Jarvis. I mean, the law firm.
Ben Jarvis Green
Ben
Ellis.
Jarvis Green Ellis.
James Devlin at 33%.
Oh, okay.
Andy will be happy
last
with that
but
one.
not least here. This clever left-handed pitcher relied on control of the strike zone and surrendered very few walks, in addition to captaining his team in his junior and senior year.
That's not very nice, Boston Cream.
I believe that person is in the Hall of Fame for his school, right?
That bio lives somewhere online because it's word for word what Jim Murray read to me.
I believe that person ended up in his school's Hall of Fame. Yep.
Unlike all of us. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right. Thank you. The one long ball Perillo. Yeah.
Long ball Paul.
Long ball Paul.
That rhymes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what Scott Pioli dubbed me. He was Long Ball Paul.
That's a great nickname.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Was Pioli a good baseball player?
No, he didn't play baseball.
Oh.
He just went because Scott was very good friends with one of my childhood friends who they played football together at Central Connecticut. So when we played Central Connecticut, my friend would go, and they all went and watched me, and I gave up a Titanic home run. And he's called me Long Ball Paul ever since.
So what was your body language when you would give up a home run?
What do you think?
Would you be like throwing your mitt down
What's
on the
my
ground?
body language when someone says something I disagree with?
So you were just huffing and puffing?
Yelling at your catcher?
I was like, in terms of getting hit, I was actually okay. Like if I wasn't pitching particularly well, I think I would be okay. It's when I thought I was getting squeezed by the umpire that, as my mother would say, anybody that's in the park at the time would know exactly how I was doing just based on one 5-second glance at me. Like,
How many times did you get ejected?
While playing? None. I
Really?
did get ejected from the bench once.
Okay.
At Southern Maine. And so I left the dugout, and I'm standing like outside of the dugout in the back, and the guy's like, "You can't stay there." And I moved to another spot. He goes, "You can't stay there." I go, "Where do you want me to go?" And he goes, "Back to Boston." And it was like alumni day at Southern Maine, so there was actually a decent crowd, and there was a roar of laughter.
One of my best friends from high school, her stepdad coached all our guy friends in baseball, so we would all go to the games all the time. And another friend her backyard was adjacent to the baseball field, and she had a tree house right over the home dugout, essentially, like separated by a fence. So my friend's stepdad, he was like, he's the best, but huge hothead, got ejected. He'd get ejected like every other game. But one day he went into our other friend's yard and was like yelling into the game from the treehouse. Shout out Bob Bull.
I've never done that, Fred.
It was incredible.
We'll end the show with this email about music at inappropriate times, stemming off of Deuce's story. Said, my parents live on a street with an assisted living apartment on one end and a nursing home on the other.
Oh, goodness.
Needless to say, there are often ambulances and medical visits. One day, I was out front doing yard work, listening to music. I looked up to see the ambulance in front of the nursing home, and Another One Bites the Dust by Queen came on. I had to go inside. I was laughing so hard.
That's your email of the week.
I just forwarded it to her. All right, that's going to be it for this edition of Patriots Unfiltered. We'll be back next week with what Alex is promising to be a historic show when we do Guess the Listener.
I'm excited.
Names with the faces.
There's a lot of faces and names that I got tripped up by, and I see the names connected to the faces. So there's a lot of listeners that I think you guys are going to be really surprised in what they look like.
I'm going to be terrible at this game.
I think that's going to be fun.
I think it'll be fun too.
Yeah.
Maybe I can work with Matt
So
to
you need to do some
superimpose.
prep work, right? Yeah.
Well, I have them all. So hey Matt, maybe we could in production put the picture that we're talking about up on the screen.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We have to make it visual.
Right. Well, I was saying it's better than me holding a cutout printed.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Photo, right?
Yeah. Have it actually on the screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Hey, this is Deuce. Thanks for tuning into the show. If you really want to help us, make sure you like us wherever you get your podcasts, like Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Also, make sure you follow us on the New England Patriots YouTube channel to see this show and everything else that we do here at the Patriots. Thanks a lot.